Okay, we're live right now. Hello. Hello.
So it's plugging in here, you have to talk into the camera.
Hello.
Can I hear it?
No, I'm trying to listen to here.
Oh, Chris Lamberson. Hey! Is it Chris or Clint? Clint! Sorry. Oh, Jesus, I read that wrong. I read Chris.
Yeah, we're
Can you
just...
scoot over a little bit for me, please?
Okay, sorry.
Give me some fucking room. Oh my god. Alright. Okay, we're running tests right now.
It doesn't see if our systems actually work. Oh, the guy can't wear these headphones. I'm doing that. I'm not hearing anything.
Well, I can hear, you can hear, hold on. I can hear the fan and my own voice. I can hear the game.
Yeah, that's game I need to go down a little bit.
So, yeah. Yeah, the boys are in the house. Well, yeah.
Oh my god, I can still hear it.
Jesus.
I'm trying to. I don't do these after NERO.
I'm not blaming.
Take the blade.
I'm not blaming. I'm just.
Yeah, I know I do this.
What are you? Okay, what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to make the game audio lower.
Okay.
There's no options right there, so.
Well, heaven forbid that Detective Butler made him void harder. Give us options.
Hey everybody, we're just testing out some YouTube playthroughs and all that.
Yeah, guys, we're hoping to actually start streaming on YouTube. So far, people are showing up way more here than they were on Twitch, and you guys are being much more interactive. We're just Clint. We're just testing right now. We don't know if we're gonna play a game tonight. We do have some review scripts we want to work on. We want to write some more cartoon corners. I'm gonna try and get back into doing NERO reviews.
Yeah, we're putting that out there, like doing watch and stuff. We've been planning a whole lot of stuff, but we also been planning to do this.
Yeah, well,
the different live things and all that. Like right now, we can do it like when we're in person and all that.
Yeah.
Or later, just basically working around so we can just do it based off webcam sort of things.
I'm having an okay day, Ballistic Nerd. I've been actually suffering from wicked bad headaches as of late. A lot of tension headaches in the temples and the back of my neck.
Here and also the back of the head and such.
So I've been stressed out for a couple of weeks, and you know, I think part of it just came crashing down that I've been at this game of attempting a YouTube channel for.
And no worries about that ballistic nerve. We know, like, this getting a Twitch account isn't as easy as just having a YouTube account.
Yeah, like everybody has a YouTube. Because if you have Gmail, you pretty much have access to YouTube.
Yeah, okay, we're just gonna push away from Detective Butler because that's a loud game.
I lowered the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the sound. Yeah, so we decided to switch over to YouTube as opposed to Twitch because while Twitch is arguably one of the premier places to start streaming games, the issue comes down to not too many people have Twitch accounts.
Yeah.
Everybody pretty much has access to YouTube. It's arguably the premier streaming service for online content.
Yeah, so that's why we're going to be trying to push more here.
Yes. Next week we are doing Incredibles 2. This week we actually, if you guys go over to our YouTube channel, we just released a hour-long video for the first Incredibles movie. We ended up rewatching it. This has been, years since we've touched on it. And we sat down and discussed that in detail.
Yeah, so that's coming out. Hopefully, we're feeling that we're going to try to get to it as early as possible so that you guys can get it, even on Friday when it actually releases.
Yeah, the game plan is we go to the theater Thursday evening, we'll watch it that night, record that night, and then have it up for you guys to enjoy the next morning.
Yeah, we're just working on our other watch and stuff so that we can be preemptive with it. And also make a big backlog of stuff so that we have a lot to show for you while we're in person still.
Yeah, the idea is to have a backlog of content of episodes prepared so we could upload those slowly and gradually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, when you graduate, there's always so much pressure. Because I remember when I finished high school, I contemplated would I even go to college, and I did. I went to community college and I graduated. Um, but it was a real case of trials and tribulations because I was originally going and I was going to be a cartoonist.
Right.
They canceled cartooning while I was there. Like mid-program, they dropped it.
Did you get your money back at
No.
all?
No, I did not.
Oh.
And then I had to dramatically switch majors, and I chose graphic design only because I thought it was close.
Right.
Because my whole thing was I wanted to get into comic books. I didn't want to work at DC or Marvel. I never wanted to do that. I always wanted to do indie products for like Image and Boom or children's books. As much as I love DC comic superheroes, I never wanted to write anybody. As much as I love Superman and as much as I love characters like Plastic Man and Batman, I never wanted to write them because I felt like it would be pointless. Because I hate how the way the system works for the big two is essentially it's like an Ouroboros, the snake eating its tail.
Yeah.
And what it does is that it's constantly in a
loop that's eating and stuff.
Yeah, it's constantly in a loop that all it does is it churns out content and it throws away stories. It doesn't make them count.
Right.
And that always broke my heart because it's like, well, if I'm writing something that doesn't matter, what's the point? Where's the passion going to come from?
Right.
Because essentially, I just have to keep churning out ideas in hopes.
That's one of them is actually going to hit.
Yeah. That's why I've always wanted to create individual content and stuff like that. Going into law enforcement, congratulations. I hope you make it there and accomplish your dream.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I really respect people who decide to go into that line of work because, in a way, it's very much the Superman thing. It's sort of a thankless job. You're putting yourself out there to make sure other people are safe, and that's very admirable.
Yeah.
What is the next Cartoon Corner review and the future of the series? Well, CC is fine. I mean, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, we're a little bit slow on it just because we just started going back and forth on how we want to basically produce it and such. Even for a long time, just being like, oh, what's a good idea to do right now? Then we just try to jump on it, which has led us to be very slow in a lot of its production, like writing actual editing or anything like that. Like for the next Cartoon Corner, it'll be out on basically the day before Canada Day, which will be on Canadian Cartoon Special Part 2, which I'm very excited for.
If you guys haven't seen the first one, by the way, that's on the channel, so feel free to check that out.
That was a really fun episode for me to do, just shooting 6 different Canadian cartoons from my past, talk about them, review them. It was a whole lot of fun. And now I basically just chose 6 other ones that have some nostalgic value with me. And now I'm just going to talk about each one of them. And Nero's going to be with me for the second part.
I grew up on some of those Canadian cartoons, so I could easily help. A lot of the times, I don't know if you guys know this, but behind the scenes, we're helping each other with the scripts. So
yeah,
I don't want you guys to think though, even though he reviewed Jester Till, I don't want you to think so Nero influenced him and everything. It's not like that. It's still his opinion with the film. I just help him come in with a different perspective and vice versa, because sometimes we look at a film, and because we can bounce the ideas off each other, we can sometimes communicate in a way that allows us to see a movie differently than we previously could have.
Right, exactly. Kind of just something like that to bounce off ideas off of. So just for the bare minimum of the question, next one is Canadian Cartoons Part 2, and the future of the series, of all our series, is just very bright, because I guess it's for everyone here, it was just in our special little, just behind the scenes thing.
Agree.
Yeah. We're basically coming up with a list of all of the Nero reviews, Cartoon Corners, and even some new editorials that we're trying to do for the whole year of 2018. Basically, just lay that out for us.
Yeah, what we ended up doing is we just started thinking, because for the longest time we kept doing episodes, but we really didn't have plans. We would just pick movies and that's it. But if we really want to step up our game, if we want to make this channel thrive, we really need to step it up in that we need to do content more regularly, and we need to talk about films that, not just that we like to talk about, but films that other people might be interested in. So I know personally, I want to do a couple of Disney films. I want to do all the DC animated movies, which is
Yeah, think
a
about
lot,
it.
a lot at this point.
Yeah, thinking like my ScoobyDoo thing just up to 10, or it's probably about the same number.
Which one?
Like how many Scooby-Doo movies there are just compared to DC movies.
Oh yeah, hell, one of the DC movies I want to review has Scooby Doo in it, so we could always join up on that one.
Yeah.
Say, will WHYBOY be reviewing the new Fairy Tale Dragon Cry? I think that came out last year.
That's the latest movie from the series Fairy Tale, like after the whole manga ended and such. Like I haven't watched that yet. Like I've been into the Fairy Tale series for a while now. I actually really like it. It's not the most like deeply written sort of show, but I really like the sort of emotion and passion that's in the series, and also the magic system it has in the show.
I think the magic system arguably is one of the best. It's honestly, I do copy that system when I write a magic world, because to me it's just a great system that understands the idea of like, with magic you really shouldn't be able to do anything, otherwise there's no stakes involved. It sort of comes down to like, as much as I love the superheroine Zatanna, when she could literally just say anything backwards and get any effect out of it, it kind of ruins tension, because she could literally just be like, the book ends, then say that backwards, and then there we go, the story's over. That's really like, that's how powerful she is.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, but definitely Fairy Tale Dragon Cry I would definitely like to watch. Or we can review it in some sort of capacity. Like, but like we said, we are planning out like 2018 in full, so that might be more considered for a watch and stuff sometime. And like we haven't talked about Fairy Tale at all on the channel, so that would be an interesting sort of discussion.
I did fall out of it pretty quickly. I read up to. Oh, I must have read up to the point at least where all the other cats showed up, because I remember Gajeel having like a panic attack.
Yeah.
And he's like, Natsu's got a cat, Wendy's got a cat, why don't I have a cat? And then he got himself a cat, and he's like, there, because all the dragons get cats.
Yeah, definitely that arc after that was definitely one of the weakest arcs. Like, it just didn't feel like the villains in that one were as just sort of like punchy as the other ones. I definitely do feel that Fairy Tail is one of the only anime that I've seen that does the time skip at least somewhat competently. Because they actually talked a bit about how like their skipping time actually affected them. Because basically what happened was like the whole Fairy Tail guild, or at least the main players, basically got frozen in time. And basically
everyone else moved on.
Yeah, everyone else moved on. Like their whole Fairy Tail guild just ended up just in a shack somewhere. Basically all their family friends have died in that time and all that.
See, that's more pointed than like One Piece, when they had the time skip, and it feels like nothing's really changed. Like, oh, everybody got like a redesign. Well, you're all like the same idiots. Like, nobody evolved. Like, Luffy's still a moron. Zoro's still a moron. Nami's still just kind of there. Neko Robin has no point being on the crew whatsoever. Frankie just has a terrible redesign. Chopper, I guess he controls monster form now. That's as far as I noticed. He's different.
But I don't. He's still pointless in the story. I wanted to see him actually fight more, but he never gets the chance to.
Well, he's the Team White Mage. He's probably never going to really do too much.
I wanted to do more because that was the point of One Piece at the beginning. Even the weakest members can kick ass.
Usopp is still a chicken shit, which is really annoying, because I thought Usopp's character was going to go through an arc at that point, because he was on a monster island for like 2 flipping years. Sanji's the same thing, except he's kind of homophobic now. Like, he's scared of crossdressers or something.
Well, to be fair, they were all sexually assaulting him for like over 2 years.
Yeah, it is really screwed up, by the way, that guy who writes this manga was like, that's funny, right? And it's like, no. What's wrong with you?
Like, it's funny if you don't really think about it.
I guess. Like,
yeah.
If you don't think about a bunch of men dressed as women sexually assaulting this guy, then it's kind of hilarious. No. As for a crossover with Jam, we have talked about it, actually. We were talking about that today, as a matter of fact. He wants to do a crossover with us, but he wants us to choose
like more like out there sort of properties.
Obscure content, yeah.
Don't worry, we got plenty of those. Like I like to go to any of the Walmarts and just basically find all the weirdest animated films that I can get my hands on. So.
I just had a DVD. Oh, it's up there. It's behind you. Top one.
This one?
Yeah. I just picked up this. Legend of the Chupacabras. I assume it's about the Chupacabra, but I've never seen this, and I'm curious to see what it's like. It looks like it's some kind of Hispanic animated film. It says it's in English.
Yeah.
It doesn't, but it doesn't have like any of the traditional trappings. There's no celeb names on it or anything.
That's where headshots would come in.
Yeah, that's, oh my god.
That's not traditional sort of celebrities, YouTube celebrities. You got Ian and Anthony from Smosh. You got Jen McAllister, or Jen X-Pin as they call her, John Heater, and Chevy Chase. And we watched this.
The guy who played Napoleon Dynamite, was he a YouTube person before
No.
he? Oh, okay, so.
No, he was just.
Is his really only claim to fame is the
Napoleon Dynamite. That's his main one that people know him from. I'm sure he's done other stuff, but that's his main
He
thing.
was on the 2012 Team NT cartoon.
Yeah.
He was one of the punk frogs.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, the punk frog he played was Napoleon,
Yeah.
and you can only guess how he acted.
He acted like Napoleon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man, match made in heaven right there.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of weird how no one else but the Dragon Slayers have cats. I think it's more weird that there are talking cats and no one seems to question it, especially because they came from like another universe.
Yeah, that's weird. And thoughts on all the animation shows that came out this last week, except for the How to Train Your Dragon one, which I still haven't seen. We did comment on all the other three of them in little trailer reactions. No, the fourth one was Bumblebee. That wasn't an animation one. But we commented.
I'm sorry, but the frickin' robot is made in a computer. It's totally animation.
What are you talking about, Nero? That's realistic. How dare you say it's animation?
The sad truth is that Bumblebee still feels like he'll be a character compared to the last.
8?
I don't think it made it to 8. 5? Hold on. Okay, the first one had Megatron be a bitch at the end who just shows up. No, that's the first one. The second one has Megatron being a bitch to another Decepticon, which doesn't make sense. Third film is where he's got like lice crawling in his head.
Yeah.
4 is when they make him into Galvatron for no reason other than for toy marquee value. And then the 5th one, he flat out shows up as Galvatron. Yeah, I don't think there's a 6.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's a 6 in development.
6. That'll be Bumblebee.
Oh, Bumblebee's the 6th. But Bumblebee's a prequel.
Yeah.
Because, oh, Jesus Christ, the timeline for this freaking universe is so screwed down. But honestly, the best thing they could do for this franchise, reboot it, go animated.
Yeah.
Because if you really think about it, there isn't an animated shared universe yet in theaters, and they really have a lot of material they can work with because they have MLP, they have Transformers, they have G.I. Joe. They might have Polly Pocket. I don't remember who owns Polly Pocket or Mighty Max. That might be Mattel.
Yeah.
They just bought Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Hasbro just bought Power Rangers.
And
Oh my god, I'd love that. Power Rangers and Transformers together.
Yeah, that
I
would be
want to see Optimus Prime fight alongside the freaking Rangers.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That'd be sweet.
Okay, Postman Pat, the movie. Like, I actually seen that. It's definitely got a lot of material to it. But at this time, we're not really planning on Cartoon Corner on it at the moment. It's not really one of those high ones on my list right now. It's definitely weird. And it's definitely a funny sort of weird. Like, maybe I'll show it to Nero sometime. We'll just sort of discuss it.
As for Gwee's question, do you think there'll be a 6th? Well, Bumblebee is a 6th. It's a prequel. If you mean there'll be a 6th that moves forward, I wouldn't put it past the studio because these movies seem like they make a lot of money. And no joke, from the, I want to say 3, because I don't remember if I saw 4, so I want to say 3. Of the 3 I've seen, it is always the same plot verbatim. They might just change a name around, and that's it. But it's always like, at least for the first 3, Sam needs to get the X in order to stop the Y from the happening, and it's always the Decepticons. And they kind of burnt out like what they could do in terms of good writing because when they killed off Optimus Prime in the second movie and then brought him back at the end of the second movie. They ruined death in Transformers.
Yeah.
So, and because Optimus Prime is pretty much the only character that they try to give a personality to, it doesn't really matter. Like, I don't know if you know this, but between films, they actually just drop Autobots without explaining what happened. Like, okay, second film, they added the twins,
right.
And obviously the twins got a shitload of backlash. Like, oh, the twins are racist. They're they're urban street talking robots. Even though I guarantee you, I've met more white people that like the twins than I've ever met a black person that acts like either of the twins.
Yeah,
I've never met.
Same with me.
So to me, it's funny where it's like, dude, I knew a Russian kid
Yeah.
when I was going to high school. I knew a Russian kid who acted like the Autobot twins. And it was always weird because he talked straight, but he had that thick Russian accent because he came from Russia. So he'd show up and he'd be like, "Yo, bro, man, I'm from the street," and you're like, "What?
Oh.
Which street? Like, you mean like the streets of Moscow? What the hell is happening?" And it was weird and funny.
Yeah. Okay, I'll be right back in a minute. Bouncy real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll take over. I think there can be another film. Honestly, I don't see why there wouldn't be. It's easy because the majority of their scripts are just control, find, and replace themes or not even themes. Themes is actually far too intelligent. Mostly just words. Because like first movie, find the cube. Second movie, find the allspark. Third movie, stop the spears or spires or whatever. Fourth movie, I don't know, but Dinobots show up and they kind of sucked. And I don't know what the fifth. Oh, the fifth movie was they brought in the creators of the Transformers, the Quintessence, but instead of making them look remotely like the Quintessence of the actual franchise, they decided that it's supposed to look like a babe or a woman or something because Michael Bay doesn't know how to. He has no self-control as a creative. I wouldn't wish Postman Pat the movie on anyone. Okay, well, that's good to know. Michael Bay, Bumblebee, get ready for some Mojer explosions. It might be good. Michael Bay's not doing Bumblebee. It's the guy who actually directed Kubo and the Two Strings. He's directing the Bumblebee film. And it's going to have John Cena, so John Cena might be charming. I think Transformers is following in the Star Wars, like how many movies and series. Here's the thing about Star Wars, and this is objective opinion, it's not fact, but I think one of the reasons why Star Wars worked, or at least why it initially worked, is the very first film is just that. It is a standalone film. You could watch Star Wars, the first film, just Star Wars. It eventually became A New Hope. But if you just watch Star Wars, it's a standalone movie. It's a action, adventure, science, fantasy, space drama. Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon, it's all in that vein. And it even pulls from, like, Valerian. That was another property that George Lucas was inspired from. And after that, then it became Empire. And Empire was in my opinion, still one of the best movies because it changes. It shook up what you think about when you think of these movies where it's like, oh, the hero always wins in the end, but not this time. That was the shake-up. And then you had Return of the Jedi, which was a nice closer to be like, we did it. We came together against all odds. The underdog story happened. And we defeated the forces of evil, we defeated the dark side, and peace reigns. Then George went and did the prequels. People stand differently on the prequels. Some people love them, some people hate them. I think they're garbage. That's just me. I don't think they're well written. I think the special effects look horribly dated. And I don't think the characters are particularly compelling. Then you go into the new Star Wars stuff. I actually like The Last Jedi, and I like The Force Awakens. Because to me, The Force Awakens, I see it as a two-way street. There's the first way. The first way is, okay, it kind of sucks because it's just A New Hope rehashed. And that's lazy. And we agree it's lazy because for the movie that's 7 in the series, it is so stupid that it's just A New Hope again, but you flipped around some characters or you folded in some characters and that's it. On the other side of the spectrum, I look at The Force Awakens as it's the new hope for the new generation. My generation had Star Wars, and it was great. We had A New Hope, we had Empire, we had Return of the Jedi. We had Star Wars, and it was good. Now a new generation is going to have Star Wars, and I'm not going to get upset about that. I'm happy that some little kid could look at somebody like Rey and be as enthralled with seeing her adventure as I was for Luke Skywalker. That, to me, is what matters. Even The Last Jedi, I like it because it was dramatically shaking up things. People say you ruined Star Wars or you disrespected the franchise. First off, if you're expecting Disney, a multi-million-dollar corporation, to respect a franchise, you're really coming into this all wrong. They want money. That's why they bought Star Wars. They bought Star Wars because they can't get the male demographic.
Right.
They have such a trouble with it. Like, their Princess line is massive. They have such a good, strong foothold with female audiences. But every time they try to do a property that's driven towards a male audience, it doesn't do as well financially. I love Emperor's New Groove. I'm told it didn't do too well. I love Treasure Planet. I'm told it didn't do too well. I love Great Mouse Detective. Didn't do too well. Oh god, what was another one? Hercules I loved. It didn't do too well. Tarzan I loved. I heard it didn't do too well. But when they do the princess stuff, it sells. Frozen made $1 billion for crying out loud. And it really wasn't groundbreaking. It was really a very basic Disney film. Which I think is why so many people loved it so much, is that people connected to it on such an emotional level because it was the nostalgia flow. You watch it and you're like, I remember seeing Disney movies like this when I was a little kid. And it made people feel good, and that's great. But that's the thing, is that Disney, they can get the female demographic easily, but every time they aim for that male demographic, they don't do hot. So what do? They bought Marvel, and they bought Star Wars. I mean, you could argue, oh, they're pushing Star Wars more towards girls because they have female leads like Rey in there. I think one of the stupidest arguments I've heard is someone said, like, I can't believe they won't let us have male leads in Star Wars anymore. Which to me is like, dude, you had like 6 freaking movies.
Yeah, with
and numerous. Well, you had 3 movies with Luke, and then you had 3 other movies with Anakin, and then you have the TV show, which is both genders. I think looking at any kind of property where it's like, oh, it's made for men or it's made for women is stupid. My thing about Disney is that I wish they would just be more experimental with their stuff.
Right, as with DreamWorks and such.
Yeah, even though DreamWorks doesn't always turn out the best quality material, because we've seen, you know, we've sat there watching a DreamWorks film and we've just been like, that was Shrek 3.
And Trolls.
Oh, fuck Trolls. Trolls is just garbage. But that's the thing, when you think about it, like, DreamWorks is always experimental, though. Because, like, Shrek was a lampooning of fairy tales. Yeah. It was basically the FU Disney movies, what it wanted to be.
Right.
But with Disney, they don't really, when they experiment, they don't do well. Because it's like, Treasure Planet is Treasure Island in space. Why people don't like that, I don't know. I remember, like, Doug Walker had said, like, oh, so it's just Treasure Island in space. Yeah, but say that out loud. It's Treasure Island in space. Instead of an island with treasure, it's a planet covered in treasure. Yeah. That's cool. Instead of just a pirate, he's a cyborg. Long John Silver has a cool robo-leg and a cool mech arm and a mech eye. That's cool. It's so many cool and interesting visuals. Yeah. It's like, yeah, you took something old that we all know, and you did a slight tweak. But that's everything. Right. The Great Mouse Detective wasn't some, oh, the Great Mouse Detective is some brilliant piece of originality. You turned Sherlock Holmes into a mouse. Yeah, it's and he fights Rat Vincent Price. I love that movie, but come on. Yeah. You didn't do anything amazing. You just you tweaked it.
Exactly.
Does the Clone Wars Holiday Special Ewok movie count as Star Wars movies? Oh, they say it's not canon, even though the only way people could... Okay, in the Star Wars Holiday Special, they introduced Boba Fett. Yeah. So when he shows up in Empire and other people know who he is, even though you're like, there was no introduction scene to who this character was. He was introduced in the Holiday Special.
There you go, canon.
Well, Boba Fett sucks. Boba Fett's a really cool looking toy.
Yeah.
He's like Ralph McQuarrie designed a really cool looking toy, and it's like, here's this awesome toy. Oh man, I can't wait till that shows up. Here's that awesome toy in the movie. That toy does look awesome. You're welcome. And that's it. Yeah. Actually, that's another thing. Moana was supposed to be a male-aimed movie. Maui was supposed to be the lead. Yeah. And then they changed it to Moana.
I think that would work better for them.
Yeah, they like princesses. It's easy for them.
Yeah.
It's what it's their wheelhouse. It's their bubble. And unfortunately, they don't know how to get out of their bubble that well. And then when they do, they don't really do well financially, and that's why they don't do it. Because I love Emperor's New Groove. It's a buddy comedy with meta humor. There hasn't been a Disney movie like that, where like the main character is aware he's in a movie and aware of the story. It was Deadpool before Deadpool, and Disney hasn't done it since because it didn't do that well. And there's a lot of production problems.
Well enough to get its own TV show.
Dude, they gave everything a fucking TV show. They gave Aladdin a TV show. They gave the 101 Dalmatians got a TV show. Hercules had a TV show, which was actually pretty good. You should really watch it if you ever get a chance.
Pumbaa got a TV show.
Yeah, for some reason.
The Lion King got a few TV shows.
It just got another one.
Yeah, The Lion Pride or whatever.
Simba's Pride?
No, it's the second movie.
What the hell am I thinking of then? The one with his like retcon son that he never
Yeah, I
had.
think it was the Lion's Cry.
Okay, we're like out of nowhere. It's like, and my son. You didn't have a son. I saw the second movie. No, he was always there. You just don't remember seeing him. No, I remember seeing that movie, and you had
And
a
they
daughter.
all have like paw prints on them to be a team.
Like you had a daughter, and she fell in love with Kovu, and he's like evil Scar, but like really sexy in the furry community. And you didn't have a son. I saw that movie. Yeah, but my son was always in the back. You just never saw him.
Yeah.
And then like the new cartoon comes out. Here's my son. What the hell is this? You didn't have a son.
Stupid boa.
Ret-
Lion. Yeah.
Retcon. Let's see.
Yeah.
What? So will you guys be doing a review maybe on Prince of Egypt? I've never seen Prince of Egypt.
Like I can write that down for a watching stuff list, but we can definitely cover that. We can cover the Rescuers Down Under. We can cover even the Iron Giant as well.
Would anyone be interested in watch-alongs where you guys maybe sync up videos on your end and we do commentary while we watch it together? I'm curious if anyone's interested in that.
Yeah.
Because I know it's something I've wanted to do.
Yeah, we basically released a sort of list of movies that we could do ahead of time. Like maybe we do like 3 movies during a watch along, then we just watch them again and again, do a Q&A at the end, something like that.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
I actually like Rescuers Down Under. I think it actually surpasses the first Rescuers in terms of being a film. It's probably one of Disney's best sequels to theaters, quite honestly, because every one of their other sequels were like, well, direct-to-DVD, and they sucked. I mean, I think the second Lion King honestly surpasses the first Lion King, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't like any of the Cinderellas.
I still want to see the Cinderellas, actually, because I know
The third one has fucking time travel.
I've heard that one's actually supposed to be really good, though.
I'm just letting you know it has time travel.
Yeah, I
in it.
know it has time travel in it. And that just made me surprised, because like, someone called it good even though it has time travel in it.
It's just weird. It's all I can say. It's just weird. Actually, I like the animated Aladdin movies, even if the second one has Dan Castellaneta doing a really poor man's version of Robin Williams. Not the guy's fault. Robin was magic, okay? Like he was as magic as that genie was, and trying to get somebody else to replicate it's unfair to Dan as a performer, and yeah, it was never going to be that good. But I like the Aladdin sequels actually. What about Iron Giant? I think, well, that's Warner Brothers, not Disney. I think Iron Giant's a phenomenal film. But do you expect anything less from Brad Bird? Brad Bird makes quality material, in my opinion. You have The Incredibles. You have Iron Giant. I believe he also wrote, and you might need to look it up, Taylor, because I don't remember it, but I think he did Batteries Not Included.
Who am I looking at?
Well, the movie's just called Batteries Not Included. I think that's how Brad Bird first got started in the industry, actually. I think he either ghost wrote that film, or he was just the writer on that film.
Batteries Not Included. Let's see. Alright, let's just check the wiki.
Brad Bird.
Screenplay, the first one on the list, too.
Yeah. And Batteries Not Included is an amazing film. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's about a group of people, and they all live in this apartment building together.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's got the Hey Arnold effect, where it's like everybody's got sort of personalities that are kind of quirky. And one day, as this guy is pushing to get them all evicted out of this building, they are visited by a race of aliens, and they look like little flying saucers.
Right.
So it's almost like they're visited by like Transformers. So they're like robots who are alive.
Yeah.
And it's super heartfelt. Oh yeah, he worked on The Simpsons. He totally did.
Yeah.
Who remembers Thundar the Barbarian?
Alright.
You don't remember Thundar? He rode the Rhino with like the 8 legs that shot things out of its horn. I think Gleep and Gloop rolled with him at 2.
Look it up.
They parodied it. They parodied it in the 2012 Ninja Turtles. It was hilarious. Yeah, with I think Ukla the Mach was his Wookiee.
Yeah, no, I've never seen that.
They should really reboot that. I really wish they would give older cartoons another kick in the can to restart them, because it feels like, okay, so we're going to have She-Ra is getting a new cartoon. Everybody's really upset about the new Thundercats.
Yeah, like CalArts art style.
Yeah, okay, that's not a thing.
Yeah.
It's not a thing.
No, it's definitely a thing. The internet says it's a thing, so it's a thing.
Well, it must be fact then.
Yeah, totally.
Because people don't post bull on the internet.
Oh, totally.
But the thing, one of my thoughts on Shrektember this
Yeah,
this year.
That's a big thing that we're.
Is it this year or next year?
No, this year.
This year, Shrektember. Each week we will be reviewing one of the Shrek movies, all 4 of them. So wait and see.
Shrek movies. We'll probably mention the Shrek memes in there as well. We'll have to at some point.
I think, yeah, I guess we might. I guess.
Shrek is love.
Sure.
Shrek is life.
Sure. Okay. I'm sure that's what DreamWorks thought. That's why they milked it for all it's worth.
Yes. It's a really bad way to put it when you're talking about Shrek is love, Shrek is life.
They milked it for all it's worth. Because it's an udder.
Well, Shrek got milked, too.
With his big ogre tits. No,
not by his ogre tits.
Shush. I like the Puss in Boots movie. I thought... Okay, look. The thing about Puss in Boots is that he's just a comic relief character. He was. He was totally added as... He was only added in that second movie because like he and Donkey needed to screw around for fun. But personally, I like the Puss in Boots movie. I think it's a great film. I'd argue it's probably one of my favorite DreamWorks films. But I'm really weird with DreamWorks films because it's like I don't like the popular ones for some reason. I can't even fully explain. Like I watched How to Train Your Dragon 1 and 2. I don't like them. I don't even think they're bad. I just don't like them. Like I watched it, and it's just like, huh, that was a movie. And then I moved on. Like nothing impacted me. At least like the Croods annoyed me.
Yeah.
Home aggravated me. Shrek 1 I think is fine. Shrek 2 I think is fantastic.
Shrek 3.
Shrek 3 I still don't remember, even though we watched it again. I still don't remember it.
Yeah.
Shrek 4, that's the time travel one. That's how I remember it.
We still have to rewatch that.
And we still have to rewatch that.
And Shrek 5's coming out.
Oh, we'll watch that for the channel. I wonder what they're going to do for a Puss in Boots 2, because, like, what story is there to tell? I think it's funny that they technically told the story of Puss in Boots in Shrek 2, because the original fairy tale was an ogre shows up and is, like, harassing the town, and Puss in Boots fights the ogre. He tricks the ogre into turning into a mouse, and then he eats the ogre.
Right.
But instead of, like, defeating Shrek, he just sort of became his buddy.
Yeah.
So he's, like, the worst hitman?
Yeah.
Because he was hired to kill him, and then he's like, no, we're amigos.
Yeah.
And that's it. We actually did a watching stuff, didn't we, on Boss Baby?
Yeah, on Boss Baby we did, I believe. I'll have to go.
I don't know. Did we save it just for the end of the year when we did our roundup, or did we just do it strictly on Boss Baby?
I think we probably saved it for... No, we did.
Yeah.
One of the Boss Baby review.
Yeah, actually, and if you want to, Clint, you could definitely watch that video or have it playing in the background while you work. But we enjoyed Boss Baby. It surprised us a lot more than we thought it was going to be. We expected it to be much worse. You saw the trailers. It looked dumb. Alec Baldwin was playing a character he always plays. If you've seen him on SNL when he does his Trump parody, or if you watch 30 Rock, it's the same character. It's the corporate business tycoon who runs his mouth and is kind of egocentric. And he's done it. He's done the character to death. But The Boss Baby was actually a pretty fun film. I wouldn't say it's by any means in maybe the top tier.
I don't know why I named it the Boss Baby. It's just going to be Boss Baby, isn't it? No, it's not in there. But yeah, The Boss Baby is actually a really good movie that I really find endearing. The show I haven't seen. Not interested in it.
I gotta level with you. I don't care. All the DreamWorks TV shows I've seen, I haven't liked. I don't like Kung Fu Panda, either the movies or the show. I didn't like Monsters vs. Aliens or the show. Monsters vs. Aliens upsets me because I thought that thing was to the brim. It had so much potential.
Yeah, it would have been so easy.
Oh, Clint, look forward to that. I'm going to be reviewing Captain Underpants, the first epic movie.
That'll be coming out next month, I believe, right?
Is it?
On the
July, right?
Yeah.
Because we still have to write it.
Yeah, let me just check. I'm just looking up on... Because we actually got the schedule on hand right now.
Oh, Ryan, I love the new Voltron. It is a masterpiece. No joke, no hyperbole. It is amazing. I think the drama is on point. The comedy is great. Even filler episodes are unbelievably funny. There's an episode where it's dude, Taylor, there's this episode where it's totally filler.
Yeah.
they go to a space mall.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like,
Go to the mall.
they go to a mall, but like mall is like the size of a moon, and not Pidge. God, who's the fat one? I don't, because they take forever to update seasons. Pidge, Hunk. He ends up working at like a alien burger joint.
Yeah.
And he like teaches the head chef there the love and passion of cooking again that he's
Yeah.
lost. And you're like, this is amazing. This is wonderful.
Yeah, that would be fun.
It's made by the same people who made Legend of Korra and Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh yeah, that's
So
cool.
so its animation is top notch. They know exactly where to save the budget. Thoughts on Madagascar sucks. Penguins of Madagascar the movie, good. Penguins of Madagascar the TV show blows.
Yeah.
Because it's one joke stretched out for a TV show.
Yeah.
They are a wannabe secret agent team. And it's only so funny. So did you guys hear that id Game Studios is coming out with Rage 2 this year? I don't know what that is.
Like Rage is like one of their big sort of shooters of the season right now. Like I haven't played it really, but I know that's like one of the bigger things that came out like a few years back, and they're coming out with the second one apparently.
I find it so hard to get into shooters. Like, okay, Overwatch. There's so much good story stuff in Overwatch, but I think the game sucks. I just find it a boring genre to play.
Yeah.
If this was like an RPG or just honestly, you know what gets me? I had heard because when I originally saw the trailer for Overwatch, and it was like a short film, I had heard Overwatch was supposed to be a TV series, but their World of Warcraft frickin' movie bombed so bad that they pulled the plug at the last minute.
Ah, that sucks.
That's what I had heard, and that drives me bananas.
Bananas?
Bananas. Cuphead I've never played. It looks fun and hard as hell. I honestly, I would love it if that was a cartoon show. I would love to watch that.
Yeah, I would definitely like to play it sometime if we could.
We could get it and we could stream it. The good people can watch us swear at each other.
Yeah.
I just know it's eventually going to degenerate into just nothing but cussing.
You can't get Jesse. We're trying to be a family-friendly channel.
A family picture.
We don't use his jokes anymore.
Oh.
It's dirty to us.
Yeah, but we could steal his jokes and then, like, use them for ourselves, like when he stole jokes.
Or when he just stole... I don't know, he just stole everything, basically. Stole people's money.
Oh, right, the game show. I forgot about it. I remember we were at, like, the store the other day, and we,
Yeah, we were at, like, the... what was it, like, some of the dollar, like, a dollar store?
We were at, like, Dollarama or something, and they had the fish-catching game. And I looked at you and I said, hey, check it out. It's that game from that game show on Channel Awesome. And you turned around and you're like, you could get that for $1? How did he have, like, 9K? What did he do? Where did all that embezzlement went?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
And that plywood and all that. Son of the Mask.
Oh, there's nothing to say about Son of the Mask, though. That's the Okay, here's the thing, nerd. Son of the Mask is so far removed from the first film other than somebody with a green head.
Next one, Jordan.
Sorry he felt that way, yeah.
Yeah, he should feel sorry.
Yeah, well, he can't be that sorry. He embezzled 9K and didn't go to jail for it, so, I mean, he must be doing something right. Would you guys be opposed to me joining with you guys for... No, not at all. Dude, Gui, I want you in all sorts of games. You remember when you and I played freaking Raymond and how every 5 seconds I kept questioning life and the meaning of the universe? Because everything that shows up in that game just made me wonder, what is life?
Yeah.
What is reality? Are we all just pointless? Are we just atoms in traveling in chronological time until the end when we all just...
Such introspection.
You weren't there, dude. There were, like, weird blob things with eyes, and you, like, slap them, and then you, like, stick to things. It's weird.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Rick and Morty Season 3 and 70 more episodes coming. Congrats on getting 70 episodes. I hope we don't get tired of you before that's over. I kind of am, and it's not because Rick and Morty's a bad show. The fandom is terrible.
Yeah, the fandom is really terrible.
Fans of Rick and Morty are fine. The fandom is horrible. But I don't know what's worse. The fandom of Rick and Morty, the fandom of MLP, or the fandom of Steven Universe. The fandom of Steven U is disgusting. They almost drove a girl to kill herself. because she drew Rose Quartz as skinny.
Yeah. Oh, God.
How did this pizza come to my front door? I was hoping God would have stopped the pizza. Nope. Nothing stops pizza.
Well, I guess we can announce this one. Con Bravo this year, myself, and NERO are going!
I'm going to Canada. I can't wait. I'm horrified to get on a plane. Last time I was on a plane, we had horrible turbulence.
Woo!
That's not fucking funny. That's not funny.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's part of the reason why I'm stressed the fuck out. Is because I know at the end of this month I have to get on a fucking plane. Oh yeah, no, the Star Wars fandom sucks. I love Star Wars.
Yeah.
Great franchise. Screw the fandom. The fandom is so disgustingly toxic.
Yeah.
This is another reason why I love Last Jedi. Because Kylo Ren, every time I see a Star Wars fan who's like angry and bitter and they're like, Star Wars sucks. It used to be good, but it's not like how I remember it. What? Look at this Kylo Ren. Why is he like Darth Vader? Why is he this thing? It's so annoying. Congratulations. You're Kylo Ren. You're everything wrong with the franchise, and you don't even see it. It's hilarious. We love Be Cool Scooby-Doo. We think it's priceless.
Yeah, we think it's definitely really smart. There are some things I do find annoying about it and such, but definitely, it's still a really well done show. It's just the art style is definitely what turned a lot of people off the start.
Well, it's that Cal Arts art style you heard about that
Yeah.
is affecting all sorts of
That was
cartoons.
Kellogg's art style before Kellogg's art style.
No, seriously, Be Cool Scooby-Doo. I remember when I fell in love with the show, it was the pilot episode, where you see Shaggy and Scooby go up to a vending machine, and Shaggy tries to reach into the vending machine, and he somehow gets stuck in the machine, and he goes, Scoob, you have to get me out of here. And Scooby reaches in, and then Scooby gets stuck. And then the monster shows up, and he like taps on the glass, and they freak out, and they're like, it's okay, Scoob, he can't get to us. And then the next scene is literally the monster's trapped in the vending machine with them, and Shaggy just goes, run for it, Scoob! And then they just start hopping forward in the vending machine, and that's when I realized we can't go into this expecting Scooby-Doo. This is a satire.
Yeah.
Priceless. From there on out. It is like, did you watch the episode where they're on a pirate ship and the captain progressively just becomes a pirate for some reason?
Yeah.
Like, he looks like a normal dude on a cruise liner, and then the next scene he's got like an eye patch, and then he comes back and he's got a hook, and then like a peg leg, and then a parrot.
He was getting sea madness.
He was getting like sea madness, and he just became more and more pirate. It's like, this is wonderful.
Yeah.
This is so funny. I don't remember Mulan Szechuan sauce, dude. It has been years. And then when they re-released it, McDonald's didn't carry enough, and people went 5 times of ape shit over it. It was disgusting. From Dusk Till Dawn. Do you mean those movies with the vampires? Like the George Clooney movie with the vampires? You know what I remember from that movie?
What?
One of the dudes, he's played by Tom Savini, who is a masterful special effects artist.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Savini's character wore a codpiece on his junk that was a gun.
Yeah.
So when it opened up, it would flip out, and his dong was the gun revolver, and then the 2 chambers were his testicles.
Yeah.
That's what I remember from that movie, and that's it.
Your favorite podcast?
Fat Man on Batman. Really any of the Kevin Smith stuff. I highly recommend checking out Comic Pop. Comic Pop is this amazing show. It's primarily the main show. Back issue is hosted by Sal, along with his buddies, usually Ben and Ethan, and they are phenomenal. They're people like us. They're regular, everyday people, and they just have a passion for what they talk about. In their case, they love comic books. In our case, it's animated films.
Right. For me, I like I'm trying to think, the Cheshire Cat Studios podcast.
Oh my god, I wish we chose that name. Damn it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they add that. They do a really great video podcast. Like they talked about like the Neo Sarkeesian and all that, and that was like one of my favorite episodes of theirs.
Oh, she's especially kind of crazy.
Yeah. And I also like that. I always like to just go back to the Ricky Gervais show. I love that one. It's just basically like the Carl Pilkington show, and Carl Pilkington is just like a special kind of stupid.
You need to, if you like Ricky Gervais,
yeah.
I need to show you Gallivant.
Yeah.
Because he shows up in there as a magical drug dealer.
Oh, that sounds good.
Let's see. You know what is a movie that will leave you...
I'm confused and wondering what is the meaning of life, and that is 1943, the movie.
Never seen it, so don't know.
Yeah. I'll have to look it up sometime.
Whenever I talk to people like those, I quote from the great words of the dude. That's like your opinion, man. Yeah, well, that's what we do. Like, yeah, we're reviewers and we consider ourselves film critics, but being a critic, you're just a person with an opinion and you have a show to talk about. Like Roger and Ebert, it's not like they were any better than the rest of us in terms of giving an opinion on a film, because when you get down to it, people love and dislike films for many different reasons.
They can hate it for petty reasons. They can love it for petty reasons as well. It's just like it's just your own preference on what you actually like or dislike about something.
Yeah, because like I've seen people, and you've seen the commenters. I've seen people talk about my Frozen review, and they talk about how Frozen really resonated with them. And they've said to me where it's like, it's a bummer you couldn't enjoy it like I could. And I agree, it's like, yeah, it sucks I couldn't get that same enjoyment you did. But you know what? It's okay. You know, you got enjoyment out of it. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
When...
Will you review When Blackbirds Fly?
Didn't you review that?
No, I review When the Dead Goes Down.
Oh, jeez. God.
That's basically a second movie. I do want to actually review that because I do have the movie now. It's signed by the cult leader himself, so that's definitely on the...
Sorry, Scoozy. Cult leader?
Yeah, it's the cult leader of the movie.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not the actual...
Oh, I thought you meant the guy who did it was like a cult leader. I'm like, wait, what?
No.
Like, I checked out halfway. What? Modern SpongeBob, I'll level with you. I actually don't own TV. Like, my monitor is a HD television, but I do not watch any form of main television anymore. I haven't touched television in like maybe 5 or 10 years at this point. Like, I saw the second SpongeBob movie, but I really haven't watched a modern SpongeBob in a very long time.
Yeah, same for me. Just to answer the other one, I will review When Blackbirds Fly sometime. Maybe I'll force Nero to watch it for watching stuff with me.
Yeah. That could happen, I suppose.
I'm sorry.
Don't touch me.
Okay.
Thank you. Thoughts on the Pickle Rick meme? It's dumb. It was a one-off episode. Rick turned into a pickle. We all laughed at the episode. Move on. It's not funny other than that. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roger and Ebert. Right, Siskel and Ebert. Sorry.
Yeah.
That was my bad.
Alright. Oh.
But Freebirds was the film that screwed my brain. Oh, Freebirds is terrible.
Yeah, it really was.
I tell you, man, it's already a bad film. That ending, though...
Yeah, it makes it really just insulting.
Like, the fact that it's like, yeah, we accomplished something. Meta?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Now, if you guys watch the Emoji Movie again, just to rip on it since it...
No. Again, we don't have a problem with it. Like, it's lame. Did you watch the trailer?
That's all you need to see from it, just basically get the whole experience.
It didn't disappoint. You can't disappoint when the standard was clearly set to be next to dinosaur bones. Like, I expected it to be like that. I expected it to be bored. I expected it to not be funny. I expected it to be a commercial. Saw it in theaters. I had to see it solo in theaters because this is when we weren't together.
Yeah.
So I saw it solo in theaters. Dude, I was in a theater with kids. And when that movie ended, somebody dropped their fork. And you could hear the fork echo throughout the theater. Nobody laughed. Like, I'm not upset about it because, is it shallow? Most certainly. Is it a cash grab? Most definitely. Why get angry?
Yeah.
Like, life's too short to watch garbage. And we watched it, and we had hoped for the best. But we expected the worst. And they brought their A game in terms of worst quality. So you can't... Also, I know I'm going to sound like a total jerk. Sony makes bad movies. Sometimes they'll squeeze out a winner. But mostly, Sony is bad at what they do. They had Ghostbusters, which should have been an easy out to bank on money. It's a huge franchise. It was a phenomenon when it came out. Yeah. They got cartoons and sequels and video games and toys. There was no logical reason how you should be able to screw up Ghostbusters, and they did it.
Yeah.
They burnt that bridge so bad. I had heard when that movie was in development, 2016 Ghostbusters, there was supposed to be a build-up. They said, like, we got like 7 movies that are going to come out of this franchise. And then they started going crazy political, and dead. That franchise died. I almost want to review the 2016 Ghostbuster movie, but part of me doesn't know. I don't want to stir that pot, or poke that beehive where a bunch of people are going to be going like, oh, you're sexist or you're big or something. Because I'm sick of that talk. Because the idea that that movie is bad because of like sexist people is a moronic argument. It was a bad reboot. Congratulations. You know how often that happens? There are a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
Bad reboots are so commonplace. It's like a fart. It happens. Stinks for a bit, and you move on.
Yeah.
It sucks that it happened. But there you go.
Yeah, and it avoids the discussion, like Jordan said.
Yeah, because as soon as somebody brings up where it's like, oh, you don't like that movie because you're bigoted, that's bull. I watch SNL. I know all 4 of those women are pricelessly funny. There's no reason why they shouldn't have been funny. I know. Dude, no joke. After seeing Ghostbusters, I was like, how does Chris Hemsworth get work? Because he's really boring in those first 2 Thor movies because they play it very straight-laced.
Yeah.
Where he's like, they're trying to do like Shakespeare.
Right.
With a guy with a magic hammer.
Yeah.
And they're playing it too straight. Thor Ragnarok lets you know Thor is just like you or me.
Yeah.
He's a dude. He has family problems just like we do. He fights with his siblings just like we do. He's just a guy. The only difference, he has a magic hammer and sometimes has to hit a dragon in the face.
I'd rather just see his mention as a god.
No, but that's the thing. You do get all that.
Yeah.
That's what Ragnarok is.
Yeah.
It's all about him being a god. But, like, he deals with the mundane stuff we do, but on, like, god tier level.
Yeah.
So, like, he has to deal with things where it's like, oh, I'm going to be king of this. Oh, you know what? The best way to describe Thor Ragnarok, the plot of Thor Ragnarok is basically Dad just died, and the will is being brought up. We need to read the will, and our sister just showed up and decided, hey, I'm part of the family, and I want in on that. That's Thor Ragnarok. It's so... You can connect with so many characters.
Yeah.
Like, Korg is such a lovable character, Taylor. No joke.
Yeah.
If I showed you that movie, you would fucking fall in love with Korg. He's like a big bear, and he's made of rock.
Yeah. As simple as that.
Okay, hold on. I saw
Yeah,
you guys can do top 10 anime movies, maybe.
Yeah, let me just go up the list a little bit, because we got a few, like, top 10 sort of ideas. We do the top 10 worst movies you've reviewed. Like, we could do that, but I feel...
Wouldn't that be kind of... My only thing about that is that it almost sounds pointless, because...
It would be updated next time we do a really bad movie.
Yeah. It's not even necessarily that's a bad idea. It isn't. It's actually a decent idea. And the thing is, like, but if we already reviewed a movie and gave it a negative review, it seems kind of pointless to point out, other than unless you want to drive more views to those.
It would be maybe for an anniversary sort of thing that we could do, like in the stage shows, like it's 10 favorite like reviews and such.
Yeah, Link Hard does the same thing.
Yeah, and something like that would be cool. What do you think is the darkest moments in animation, excluding Disney?
Oh,
I would say one of the darkest movies I've seen was Felipe.
That fish one.
Oh, Fishtail. Yeah, it was a Fishtail, or Help I'm a Fish.
Help I'm a Fish is one of the most fucked up scenes I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, there's somebody drowning.
It's not even that. It's that he tricks the dude into drinking a potion to become smarter and more human, and then he evolves to being a human so much that he has lungs and not gills.
Yeah.
And he drowns to death, and you're just like, what the fuck? And then the body just floats away.
Yeah.
No. I guess Trolls, DreamWorks Trolls has that really dark scene that comes out of left field, but nobody wants to address it properly.
Just like, Grandma gets captured.
My grandma was taken and eaten by this giant monster. Scoozy? That's my backstory. Wait, what? You shouldn't be grumpy all the time. I'm sorry, wait, what? What? Wait, what? What? Oh shit, I bought from some witches?
Exactly.
Can I scroll up on that?
Yeah, I can scroll a bit. I got it on here. Let's see. Top 10. Can you do a top 10 anime movies this in the future? Like,
it's not impossible. Now, question: when you mean anime movies, do you mean live action films that are based on animes, or strictly just animated?
Like, I would guess like maybe anime movies sort of thing, like Your Name and all that.
Oh, okay. Because, I mean, dude, I have some animes that made live-action films. I got My Love Story. I got Crow Marty High School. Both are weird.
Well, actually, I don't even remember that.
No, I don't. I've seen The Shape of Water. It is the most charming and classy porno I've ever watched.
You gotta have high class when you choose your porn.
Rather. You guys should review some anime movies and some live action. Well, I review live action.
Yeah, he reviews live action. I'm more into like the anime content because that's just basically what I grew up with, and I know how to basically deconstruct those.
Your only exception is if it's a property that maybe started somewhere.
Yeah, like Marmaduke.
Marmaduke,
ScoobyDoo.
ScoobyDoo, Yogi Bear, what
else did I review?
Paddington.
Yeah, Paddington. Paddington 2 should be actually on the list of stuff. I'll place that down.
But yeah, no, like I review live action. Any Sony animation movies you like? Oh,
like I brought up a list of them, and I'll just read them off to you. Open Season.
No.
No. Surf's Up.
No.
I don't know. I haven't seen Cutting with a Chance of Meatballs.
Okay, here's the thing. I haven't watched it in a long time, so maybe it's shit and doesn't hold up. Last time I saw it, I liked it.
I would like to see it just to get a better perspective on it.
It's written by the two dudes who did the Lego movie.
Yeah, so I would like to see it. The Smurfs.
Which one?
The live action, I'm guessing.
2011. That's the first live action one,
Yeah.
and I like Gutsy Smurf.
Yeah.
He was an original Smurf made specifically for that movie, and I adored him. He was the only one that had a unique personality.
Then they murdered him.
Well, yeah. Then he disappeared. He didn't come back in, which annoys me because he looked different than the other Smurfs. Because unlike the rest of the Smurfs, he wore a kilt, and he was Scottish, so he had a thick accent.
Yeah, that would be fun.
And he had red hair. Unlike any other Smurf, he actually had red hair. So he had these thick orange eyebrows.
Okay. For Christmas.
Oh,
yeah,
fantastic! Honestly, the fact that it's Sony, I don't even think Sony made it though. It was Aardman Animations.
Yeah, it was Aardman Animations. Like, he needed the Pirates from Band of Misfits as well, which I haven't seen either.
Which one? Band of Misfits is pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near as good as Arthur Christmas.
Right. Hotel Transylvania. First one.
I think the first one is actually good. I think it's got a good story with a good moral to it.
Yeah, I like the first one. It was just like two jokes I didn't like in it.
Okay, the piss one and the fart?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, agreed. That really feels like... I don't even put that on Gendy. I can't help but think it's like... Adam, probably threw his weight around to put that joke in there.
Put in that joke for me, or I'll sing you a song.
You know, the weird thing is, he sings very well if he wanted to.
Yeah. And he can sing pretty awfully when he wants to.
That's true, too.
Okay, Smurfs 2.
I like Gargamel in that movie. There are so many horrible jokes he does towards his children in that movie that is beyond funny.
Yeah.
Because he creates like how he created Smurfette, he created other Smurfs.
Yeah, he creates little great Smurfs and he basically just abuses.
Yeah, and he says things like, "I want you children to know you're just a parasite leeching off your father. And every day of my life you make my life a living nightmare. I want you to know." And I'm just sitting there and it's like, Dad? It's lost in thought.
Yeah. Okay, Meatballs 2.
It was unnecessary but kind of fun. I do think plot-wise... Okay, for a movie where a guy invents a machine that turns water molecules into food, I think the fact that it's the food's alive now and it's like kaijus. Great goofy kid movie idea, but it didn't need to happen.
Yeah.
It was just... That was a cash grab story.
Okay, Transylvania 2.
I like a good majority of it. It really is the ending where I think it just falls apart. And you know what it is? It's just it really is just right at the end. All they have to do is put their foot over the finish line and oops, shit, and we drop the ball. Have you guys seen Romeo and Juliet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we did a watching stuff of that, so we had.
We did a watching stuff of it.
We planned to do the review of the sequel as well, but we were trying to do No Much, but then things sort of fell apart around that.
Yeah, that turned into that was a crap basket.
We'll get around to the sequel sometime, though, because we might as well.
Yeah. The remake of Frankenweenie, that's the official Tim Burton movie that came out?
Yeah.
Never seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it. I did like it for it. It's definitely got that Tim Burton sort of slowness to it.
Was Johnny Depp in it?
I don't even remember.
You sure he wasn't the dog? Was he the kid?
No, the dog didn't talk. I'm not even sure about the kid. I wouldn't be surprised if it's...
I wouldn't be surprised either. I'm expecting Helena Bonham Carter, Johnny Depp, and Christopher Lee before he passed away.
Let's see. Tim Burton.
Oh, Winona Ryder. That's Lydia from Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Let's see. No, I don't... Nope, no Johnny Depp.
Martin Short was in the movie with the aliens.
Yeah.
Mars Attacks.
Yeah.
Um,
One of my dark person.
Catherine O'Hara, she was in Beetlejuice.
I think just the bottom line's like I think it would be a decent one for a review and stuff.
Oh, Disney released that.
Yeah, let's just go through the other Sony ones. Okay, which ones you said you like? Because basically felt like Jumanji.
It's Jumanji if instead of the board game, it's Magic Books.
Yeah.
And then you get to see the cool. The only downside to Jumanji, the really cool monsters you remember liking.
Yeah.
They don't really get to do anything cool. Like it's a lot of it's Easter egg the movie where you're like, and that's it. Because one of my favorite creatures from Arnold Stein, I don't even think he is in the books. He's just like the mascot. You can look him up. His name is Curly.
Yeah.
And he's a skeleton with a purple mohawk and beatnik sunglasses.
What book was that from?
I have a fucking clue, but it was dude. I used to have a beach towel with him. He was all over the place. He was like the unofficial mascot before it became Slappy.
Yeah.
And Slappy's like the main villain.
Yeah, that sounds weird. Okay, Smurfs the Lost Village.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a solid movie.
I stand to reason, and I know this sounds crazy. Smurfs the Lost Village is an amazing movie, only if the grading scale is, well, look at the other Smurf movies.
There you go.
Then it's amazing. Otherwise, if you take in terms of like greater animated films, it's okay. It's actually good. The real issue is that it's kind of mundane.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the atypical story of
you gotta get to the place.
What?
You gotta get to the place.
We gotta get to the place, and one character. You know what it is? It's the Emoji Movie told better. Which is funny, because it came out the same year as the Emoji Movie. And I remember I pointed that out to you where I said, why did they rip themselves off with the story they already told earlier in the year, but then did it worse?
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess the next question is the Emoji Movie.
You didn't disappoint.
Yeah, you didn't disappoint. You were crap.
You lived up to the expectation. You lived up to the challenge. You met the challenge.
Yeah. Okay, the star.
Never seen it.
Yeah.
That was Sony?
Yeah, that was Sony too.
Let me get this straight. It wasn't bad enough they tried to turn Ghostbusters into like a political fiasco, but then they felt the need to make a movie about Jeebus.
Yeah, and it was just like there are some good bits in it, then there are some really bad bits in it as well, which makes it such an annoying watch to sit through. Yeah. Okay.
All right, Gui, you go and have yourself a good night.
Yeah. Good night. Okay. And definitely the star. I want to show that to you to get your opinion on it, because I think there is sort of an interesting thing to talk about. And Peter Rabbit.
Can I just say, the star's based on the Nativity, right?
Yeah.
When the fuck is that story ever going to get a good telling?
Well,
it's either really boring or it's just it's a train wreck.
Yeah. I think that had a lot of good things about it that could have been told well, but then they freaking ruined it by adding like a weird villain element to it.
The devil?
No, it was like this big guy that didn't talk at all, like.
Was it like a demon that worked for the devil?
No, he was just some guy who worked for like
the devil.
No, like one of the leaders of one of the cities nearby. Just like go kill Jesus.
Was the city led by the devil?
Yeah.
It feels like, look, if Jesus needs an arch nemesis, it should probably be the devil.
Yeah.
Okay, Clever. We were actually going to work on the script for that review tonight.
Yeah, we actually have it all written up. We're just basically going to do another rewrite of it, basically. Just to really spice it up, but that's going to be coming out this month more definitely than anything.
Oh, is it this month or is it next month?
No, next month. Because,
July?
Yeah, Canadian Cartoons is this month, Sausage Party is next month.
Okay, next month you'll get Sausage Party. One of the reasons why we take so long, too, is that we're also a little bit perfectionist with our work, but also we were really bad at organizing for a long time. We've gotten better now. And we started taking classes actually to improve ourselves as well. We've been doing jump cut to try and improve ourselves as creatives.
We still have to go through that a little bit more. We're basically going to go through this sort of like peer-to-peer sort of review process to try to get our stuff to be bigger and better. And hopefully with that, we'll get out there a little bit more.
Lego Batman or the first Lego movie? First Lego movie.
The first Lego movie.
Lego Batman only got where it was because it was Batman.
Yeah.
If that was an original property, it would not have worked. Nobody would have cared. It only banks on the fact that you either know who Batman is, some level of nostalgia, or just nerd osmosis. Like Taylor Taylor laughed at the joke where Condiment King and Calendar Man, and the cop goes, "Did you make all those up?" Nope, they're all real.
Yeah.
Probably worth the Google. He only laughed at that joke because I was talking to him about this. And I was like, those all existed at one point. Batman really did fight Condiment King, and he fought an idiot dressed like a butterfly. Because Batman's villains are pretty lame. Not all of them. He still has like top 10 great villains, but like he's got a lot of sucky villains too. Like people talk about, oh, Superman doesn't have iconic villains. Dude, Batman's got so many villains, and the vast majority of them suck. That's why they always stick to the top 10. It's always like Joker and then 9 others. And the 9 others, it kind of shakes up. Yeah. But most of the times it's like top 5 are probably Joker, Riddler, Penguin, Catwoman, maybe Bane because the movie kind of elevated him further into pop culture. Can you guys start doing more fan polls for... Here's the thing. It's not that we're against fan polls. It's that there isn't enough audience interaction. That's the major problem.
Yeah, that's why right now we're just basically doing more of the basic, just sort of lay it all out for us. Like, we may be doing that for watching stuff instead in the future. Just to see where people go with that.
Kudos to Jordan for getting 20 followers as a milestone on his fan film Facebook. If Jordan, if you want to, you can post a link for your fan film Facebook here. We're perfectly fine with promoting other talent.
Yeah, because basically me and NERO are going to be voices for his fan project, which is the ScoobyDoo fan project. Like, if you want to know more about it, just go through his fan page and you can see a lot more stuff.
The comic book version of superheroes have a lot more substance than their show and movie counterparts. That's debatable because comics are always rebooting or retconning. Or, actually no, reboot or retconning. So at any given time, things could dramatically change. I remember when the origin of Batman used to be poignant with Batman Year 1, but then they did Batman 0 Year, and I think 0 Year is a far worse written origin for Batman was. It basically is Year 1, but like diluted, and that's kind of lame. Favorite PBS show aside from Sesame Street and Arthur? Was Magic School Bus PBS?
I'm more just trying to figure that out. I think so. Let's see, Magic School Bus. Yep,
Magic School Bus.
Yeah, there you go.
Who wouldn't want a teacher that could take you through time, space, and everything in between?
Yeah, Magic School Bus is fun. I liked Wishbone when I was younger.
Oh, how could you not love Wishbone? That dog kicked ass. Thoughts on The Simpsons now and Family Guy now? They suck.
Yeah, I actually am thinking of doing like an editorial on Family Guy like down the line. I basically asked them the question of why do people find the comedy now to be funny and how did it change from the beginning? Because it definitely has gone through a metamorphosis.
Oh, no joke. It was much funnier before. And then I don't know what it was. I don't know what caused the change to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea. It's just something it's just basically just sort of understood it just like we don't need the family element. We just need the fact that these are all just sort of terrible people and them doing bad things to each other is the actual comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad concept, because that's what Arrested Development pretty much is.
Yeah.
But every time I try to watch Family Guy, honestly, more than anything, I'm not even disgusted. I'm bored.
Yeah.
And for a comedy show, that's the worst offense.
Yeah. Yeah. American Dad is still good. I want to do a video like comparing all 3 of the shows, and I do feel that American Dad is actually probably the best out of the 3 of the shows because it's oddly enough the one that actually has serial elements to it, which actually makes more of an actual effort to basically shift things up and such. And there is actually a family dynamic where they're not all horrible to each other, except for Roger the alien, because
well, that's just Brian.
Yeah. No, even to me, I hate Roger way more than Brian.
Yeah, but I mean, it's that Seth MacFarlane talking pet character he puts in all his stupid ass projects.
Yeah. Yeah, Robot Chicken or Harvey Birdman.
Robot Chicken. Harvey Birdman's funny. It helps probably if you know Hanna-Barbera properties. Dude, I got such a laugh off when one of the judges is Mentok the Mind Taker.
Yeah.
I remember Mentok. He was the psychic dude. So when he shows up and he's like the judge, he goes, "I'm Mentok the Mind Taker."
Yeah.
I also love. Do you remember X the Eliminator?
Yeah.
It's so great because they show him from like a clip from the old cartoon where he's built like he's jacked.
Yeah.
And they cut to like where he is now, and he's fat and paunchy, but he's still dressed in a stupid X the Eliminator costume. And you're like,
oh, wow,
what happened?
You let yourself go, man.
Man, you got fat.
Did you? What about Russian Clank?
What are you referring to? The video games, the film?
I'm gonna get to the film. Like
we're gonna review it.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna review it.
Question for Taylor: being from Ontario, what were your favorite TVO kid shows growing up?
I definitely like to watch it. Definitely like Wishbone and Magic School Bus are like two of the big shows on there. Definitely, there was the show called Art Attack, which was really awesome. It's based about this guy who basically made these like huge art pieces, basically like taking a bunch of tubing and all that, basically making huge things.
Was he like Bob Ross?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, cool.
Or basically more hyperactive Bob Ross. Like
Well,
I should show you that a little bit.
leave Bob Ross alone, man. He went to war. He was in the Air Force.
I understand that.
He was like 20 years in the Air Force. I think that guy earned his chill.
Yeah, I can totally. Oh, Polka Dot Shirt was also great as well.
That was a show called Polka Dot Shorts.
Oh, I'll show you real quick. Polka Dot Shorts.
I swear to God, this is just pay. God damn it, Taylor.
Well, here's Polka Dot Shorts. Come on. Damn it. There it is.
Oh, that's creepy looking. I mean, I'm sure it's probably better than what it is. You know what it looks like? Over here, I think we had something called HR Puffin stuff.
Yeah, it's basically like that.
Okay.
Yeah, just the weird costumes and all that. These two egg guys are the weirdest ones.
Yeah, here they are. I'm having trouble getting the link to it here. Maybe next time you can help me on how to do that.
Yeah, sure. We definitely
Yeah, this is all testing.
This is our first time.
Are you hyped for Teen Titans Go to the Movies? No, we are not.
No.
Because first trailer, it was a fart joke. That was the joke. That's like, it's 1 minute long of... That's nothing.
Yeah,
that's...
fart jokes and also just taking the piss out of actual superhero movies. Which is basically what...
I told you this too when we first saw the one where it's like, if they give Aquaman a movie, anybody could get a movie. You're still trying to build the cinematic universe, and you're taking a dump on another one.
And Aquaman's coming out this year.
And Aquaman's coming out, and you're still taking... Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely have you out without Jordan in the future. Thoughts on Magic School Bus Rides again. I haven't seen either of the seasons yet. I just seen like the intro to it. And I'm disappointed by the art style of it. The theme song music is actually alright.
The animation's crap.
Yeah, it's very stilted and stiff.
It's still... I'm... Okay. I watched My Little Pony. I watched Littlest Pet Shop. I watched Dan Versus. These are shows done with Flash. They look better. They move better. And the Magic School Bus looks terrible. I also think they changed something that annoys me, where it's like, we got rid of Miss Frizzle for her sister, who acts like Miss Frizzle, so what was the point?
Yeah. Just give her a different voice actress. Like, it has been years after all.
They did.
Like, it's not going to be a big sort of difference.
It was annoying to me.
Yeah, it was definitely annoying to me as well.
Not helping themselves. Their animated movie universe is doing more better than their live act. That's not saying much. I think DC's biggest thing was, first off, if you heard the news, Zack Snyder, he didn't want to do a shared universe.
Yeah.
He had a 5-film idea, and it was supposed to be Man of Steel, sequel to Man of Steel, and it was supposed to basically build up to eventually Batman and the Justice League.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers want Marvel's money. Pure and simple. It is a cash grab. And it's very cynical how these movies are being handled. Because there's no... With Marvel, and I know this sounds really BS and artsy, but Marvel... First off, Marvel's hungrier for successful movies. Because Marvel had to prove themselves. They had Iron Man. There wasn't supposed to be a shared universe when Iron Man came out.
Right.
The idea was, we're going to make Iron Man, which had a lot of problems if you read about it.
Right.
And what was supposed to happen was, it was just going to be Iron Man, and they just recorded a small bit at the end where Sam Jackson shows up and he's Nick Fury.
Right.
And it was just a fun little teaser they put on, because they figured this probably won't do that well. So let's have fun with this stuff. And it took off. DC has no excuse for not being able to make the money, because their heroes are way more iconic than Marvel. I know people will argue, oh, that's opinion. No, it's fact. Superman is far more famous. Batman is far more famous than Iron Man or Captain America. That is fact. Thor is nowhere near the level of most of the Justice League, if not all of the Justice League. Maybe Martian Manhunter or Aquaman, because Aquaman got screwed over because of Super Friends, and for some reason people don't seem to like Martian Manhunter, which I don't know why. He's a more powerful Superman, quite honestly. With a bit more of an enticing backstory.
Okay, Teen Titans Go was funny at the beginning, but it's stretched out. Like, we were actually talking about like the good, like what could be good about Teen Titans Go.
I think, and I've said this to you, Teen Titans Go's failing is that It does not need to be Teen Titans to be the comedy show that it is. It's only Teen Titans for nostalgic manipulation and money.
Yeah.
Because they don't do enough in the DC universe to warrant being Teen Titans, whereas Justice League Action is the Justice League just as a comedy action show.
Yeah, when it actually does have bits of like the DC comedy in it, it's actually really funny. Like the joke that you always bring out.
It's just so funny. You pan across a fireplace. There's an urn for Jason Todd, and there's a crowbar next to the urn of Jason Todd.
I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about Beast Boy's backstory.
Where Beast Boy is Beast Boy. You mean to tell me you're the Green Lantern? Nah, dog. I'm the thing that comes out of the ring. I ain't even real. And then he disappears. And then Cyber just goes, my best friend's a hologram. Oh my God, why? And then you just see Jon Stewart hiding behind a pot of paint going, tee and laughing at like how traumatized Vic is because his best friend was never real to begin with. That's funny.
Yeah, that stuff is funny. And that's a parody of the DC universe, not just Waffles.
Like the Waffles thing. Somebody came into a board. Okay, somebody went to school. They graduated for like writing for TV and film. They came to work.
Yeah.
They wrote that. And then some idiot looked at that and said, approved. Then some idiot signed over them the budget to animate it. Then they shipped that stuff overseas and did it.
Yeah.
It's baffling.
Yeah,
because like here's the thing about jokes. Jokes work with setup, payoff. They just say Waffles. What's the gag? What's the joke then? They say a word that sounds vaguely... You can put any word there. Kumquat. Chimichanga. If I made a clip with WHYBOY and we were just saying chimichanga for 11 minutes, is that hilarious or is that just a waste of time and effort and money we could be doing making something else?
Yeah. Yeah, so there is bits of Teen Titans Go that can actually be really funny and such, like with those ideas. Well, because it's more based on just low random comedy stuff and like weird video game parodies, all that sort of stuff.
It feels like it's a cartoon for stoners, you know, like Tim and Eric.
Yeah. You know, Tim and Eric is a much better stoner comedy. You know, I watched a whole lot of stoner comedy when I was growing up, and just like I would not watch Teen Titans Go. Like a stoner comedy to me is something that should relax you while watching it.
Okay, Lily Tomlin does Miss Frizzle on Reds again. She just voices her during ending segments. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah,
my criticism is that her sister is essentially just Miss Frizzle.
Again.
What's the point of changing the character?
Yeah, it makes me sort of think of like that show, the Secret Millionaires Club, that I want to review in the future with Warren Buffett and stuff. Like, you know how he's charismatic and all that. That'd be like if you had Warren Buffett just at the ending of it, then you just had his brother, Darren, throughout the entire episode.
The argument that people make for the new Magic School Bus is, oh, it is Miss Frizzle. It's just her sister's now the teacher, Miss Frizzle. And it's like, yeah, but the personality is so similar. What are we doing? What's the point?
Yeah.
It's like Teen Titans Go. The personalities are so different than who these characters are. This isn't the Titans then.
Yeah.
Because nobody acts right, and when they do act right, it's very fleeting. Like the closest character is maybe Raven and Starfire, because like Cyborg doesn't act like Cyborg. Beast Boy acts like Beast Boy dialed up to 11.
Yeah.
So he went from just kind of like the annoying little brother to just annoying.
Yeah.
And Robin's just kind of a dick and a stick in the mud.
Yeah. And it means it's more than going sort of like group package together.
Yeah. Big Mouth, I think that's the adult cartoon on Netflix with like the puberty monster and stuff.
Yeah. Like I've actually seen that. I've heard some good things, some bad things about it. I don't really like the art style of it myself, because that's into Big Mouth. It sort of looks like weird upper lips.
Yeah, it's an ugly art design. I have not seen Troll Hunters. He has seen some of it.
Yeah, I've actually enjoyed it. It's definitely a much more standardized show when you just really break it down. It's not like the most groundbreaking thing, but it was actually enjoyable for what it is. Just basically just sort of like a super kid who gets the magical item to fight off monsters.
Oh my God, that's Mighty Max.
Yeah, it's basically any sort of show. You just give a thing.
Isn't that Ben 10?
Yeah, you got a magic watch. Go fight some aliens.
Oh my God. So many of my favorite voice actors are in Troll Hunters.
Yeah.
Clancy Brown's in there. I bet Ron Perlman's in there, because if Del Toro is the guy who's behind it,
yeah, I think he is in there.
I guarantee you he's like, hey, Ronald, you're in everything I make.
Like, what are you doing in my house?
Actually, you know what the funny thing is? I don't think he was in Shape of Water.
Oh.
Which is funny because the fish guy there is played by Doug Jones, who plays Abe Sapien in Hellboy. So the entire time I'm watching Shape of Water, I half expected at any moment when they were like trying to steal the fish man and get him out of the building, I half expected Hellboy to be like, I expected Hellboy to show up and be like, hey, we gotta get you out of here. And it's like, yeah, it's a prequel to Hellboy all along. Yeah.
Are you hyped for the Grinch 3D animation movie by Illumination?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I saw the trailer. I kind of love him.
Yeah.
I love the voice. I love the personality. I love the fact that, like, we have that great camera shot panning through Mount Crumpet, and then we come up and he's in his room and he's sleeping. Alarm goes off, and of course it plays Happy, which is perfect because he's a grump. And then, of course, he can't seem to turn off his alarm clock, so he destroys it by hitting it with a book, and then it falls down a crevice only to echo up. And he calls for his dog. I love the fact that Max gets up and he makes him like a coffee, and then he puts a little frowny face with creamer into the coffee, and he brings his master the coffee. That is so cute to me that, like, his dog is taking care of him. The pants joke was like miserable, vile, mean one, and then like he takes like the grumpy pants and snaps them on, and his pants look just like his fur.
Yeah.
So he still looks like he's naked.
Yeah, that just makes it funny.
That's a funny visual gag. I love the line in that trailer when he's walking and he goes, "Today we're going to do mean things and going to do it with style." As soon as they walk into, was it Who Foods instead of Whole Foods, which cute little visual gag, and he comes in there, "Hey, Mary," yeah. And he just walks in, and then he goes up to the shelf. What's this, sir? Are you gonna buy that? No.
No, he puts it up first, like, no. Then walks off.
Like, he's just a charming little jerk. And honestly, if you could keep that going, do it. My concern is, like, I feel like Cindy Lou Who's going to be annoying. I don't have anything to go off of with that other than like an image of her. But Illumination has this thing where it's like minions, like Minion-itis, where they add characters that are just annoying.
It's just bad. Like, that's the biggest worry for both of us. But definitely if they focus more on Grinch and Max, that's definitely going to be like their strength of the movie right there. But we'll have to see it as it goes forward.
I want it to be good. Because I have the original animated film starring the late, great Boris Karloff. Phenomenal, animated by Chuck Jones, one of the best.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the best animated specials you could ever see.
Yeah.
It's so quintessential. I love the Jim Carrey Grinch movie. I know a lot of people hate it. I love it. I watch it every year along with the Boris Karloff one. Every year I would pop those in and watch them. I hope I get another good Grinch. Because I love the Grinch. He's my favorite Dr. Seuss character. He was the most relatable. Because I'm not big on Christmas either. My thing about Christmas is that it's people who like have the fakeness of it. Where people, you know, oh, this is the time when you're supposed to have goodwill towards your fellow man. No, dickweed, you're supposed to have goodwill towards your fellow man all year. You don't choose one time to be a good person and then you're a jerk the rest. That's not how it works. What sense does that make? What do you think, like Santa Claus looks at you? Oh, as long as they're good at this time of the year. No, I see you when you're sleeping. I know when you're awake.
Yeah, bad or good, we're good and safe.
Yeah, like I make sure you have to be good the whole year to get your presents. You don't get to choose like the 11th hour. You know what it is? There was a joke in a TV show called Reaper, where one guy sold his soul to the devil, and he's like, "I sold my soul to the devil," and one of the characters goes, "You can't do that. You should take your soul. You're gonna go to hell." And he goes, "No, man. You know why? Because in the 11th hour, when I'm about to die, I'm gonna repent." What? Yeah, like just as I'm about to die, I'm gonna tell God I'm sorry, and then he's gonna like give me a clean slate, and I'm gonna get out of hell. That doesn't sound real. It sounds like you made it up. No, dude, it's totally true. And then the one guy talks about it. He's talking to the devil, and he goes, "You know, you're not gonna get a soul. Why is that?" Well, you know, he's just gonna repent in the 11th hour. Oh, Sammy, the 11th hour stuff's bullshit. I just made that up to make people feel better about themselves after they sold their souls because I knew idiots would buy into it. It's like that. It's like people are bad all year round. Oh, but if I'm good in December, all of a sudden, it's okay. No, you don't get the privilege of being a dick 365 days a year, but then choose a month to be good. You have to be good the whole time.
Yeah. Right? Deacon, like, you haven't really missed much. We've just been doing a Q&A. We've been testing out all our good sort of technology and such. And it's been going really well. We've been getting like a good stream of comments and questions and everything.
I'm so glad we're like, this is so much more engaging. I love it.
Yeah.
Despicable Me 4, no. And here's the thing. I feel like as much as I love Despicable Me 1 and 2, Despicable Me 1 still missed out on a quintessential thing, which was, he wasn't really despicable. Not really. Like, he didn't get enough time to be a supervillain. Because by the end of the first movie, he's already softened up. And then by the end of the second movie, he's a father figure. And don't get me wrong, Gru's a great dad. I love Gru as a dad. But at the same time, he's not really despicable. He's just sort of like a cheeky jerk. And I kind of expected a little bit more villain that could have been done. The third film it's not even bad. It's just, it was wholly unnecessary. There was no reason for Gru to have a twin brother. It felt so creatively drained.
Yeah, it definitely makes it really just bleh.
I think for Illumination, they used the same 3D models from their films, but put a new coat on. I wouldn't doubt that. Disney does it too. Rapunzel, Elsa, Anna, and their mom have the same character model, and I feel like for the most part in that princess shot we saw in Wreck-It Ralph, I think they just took the Elsa Anna model and they just slightly augmented it for some of that.
Yeah, I would guess that.
Because Snow White looks dramatically different than she did when she was 2D drawn.
Right.
Because if you go back to the original Snow White, you could tell that Walt was really into the idea of reflecting cartooniness only in the dwarves, but realism in the people.
Yeah, because he would basically use rotoscoping for female models.
Oh yeah, dude, he used that in Alice in Wonderland. Like, if you ever, I have Alice in Wonderland, the unanniversary edition. And
no, I've seen that where just the little girl is going like under a mushroom and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
to basically get her movement there.
They show you the whole Mad Tea Party where the actors are acting and then they draw it.
Yeah, so a bit static, but otherwise, static is we are just sitting still and all that.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, what do you want us to do? You want us to like wiggle about? Because then you get lag.
Wiggle, you got wiggle, Nero. Come on, stop being static. Oh, that hurt my arms.
Thoughts on John Lasseter leaving Pixar and Disney? Don't let the door hit you on the way out, asshole. Or you know what? Let the door hit you on the way out. You did horrible shit. Personally, I think they should fire you. The fact that he's able to just like, oh, he's just leaving at the end of the year. Wow, that's a nice political cover-up to not, he was like sexually harassing people.
Yeah.
His ass should have been, they should have had an announcement of like, this shit's wrong. I don't care how much of a legacy you have.
Get out.
Get the hell out. It was disgusting what he did.
Yeah.
No person in any seat of power should make their lessers in business feel worse. They should not make it feel like an unsafe environment. It is your duty as somebody on a higher pedestal to make it better for the people beneath you. You're supposed to help lift them up to your level, not disregard them and treat them like garbage.
Right.
Clint's not kidding. Nutjob Live will be a thing. What the heck?
The play. I heard that too.
The fuck?
Nutjob Live.
There's a play?
Why?
There's barely a narrative for fucking 2 films.
I guess there's just still more nuts. Yep, Nutjob Live.
Are they gonna be like puppets?
No, it's this.
Holy crap on a crutch. Good Googa Mooga, that is terrifying.
Yeah, I get the sound because our mic is just basically very, very far away. We definitely need to set you up with just some sort of like...
I have a Yeti.
Yeah, a Yeti, maybe like one of those arm things they just lean over.
I've thought about that. I have my Yeti down there if we ever want to try it out. We could always test it another night.
Yeah, we'll test it another night. Thanks, Steve. Now that's actually a good thing, because definitely being so far away from it, you definitely do get more of the static from it.
Awesome to see Nero so animated than how he does reviews, not as cynical.
Oh, he definitely...
See, I talked to you about this, where somebody's like, you should do a crossover with Dishonored Wolf. Oh, that sounds neat. Watch Dishonored Wolf videos. Oh god, is this what people think of me? That's horrible. This guy's like miserable. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, then that makes you think like, wow, I definitely don't want to be like that.
This is why I want to do more positive movie reviews, because I don't want to be the cynical dude. The thing is, yeah, I was a cynic for a long time. I grew up pretty miserable, pretty suicidal. But meeting people like Taylor and like my friends like I've gotten better. I've gotten a healthier state of mind, and because of it, like I'm still willing to do negative reviews because they're fun.
Yeah,
it's fun to rip into a movie because like ripping into a movie is the same catharticism as like when people make fun of The Room,
Yeah.
because like somebody puts their heart and soul into something, and then you try to make humor out of it, while at the same time you're trying to critique it. It's a good blend because you're using humor to also get your point across. Because humor is this is the same thing I criticized about the DC films in a nutshell. The DC films, for the longest time, and still kind of, lack humor. They're played up to be very serious and dramatic. And the thing about that is, comedy is a through line which we all connect to in some minor capacity.
Right.
And you can use comedy to get your point across. It's my same thing like why I make a joke in like my Frozen review where Elsa says something like, "Oh, I can't fix that, I don't know how." And it's like, excuse me, not like, like 20 minutes ago, you built a fully functioning castle with a stairwell made of ice and chandeliers. And I remind you that we can walk on those stairwells and not slip and break our necks. So you're telling me you can make a fully functioning castle with a working stairwell and a chandelier, and you created souls not once but twice, and it created sentient life, and you can't even attempt to turn off the storm?
Yeah.
Who here watched Sleepy Hollow? Be specific. Disney animated, the Tim Burton one. There was a really weird animated one with the Magic Scarecrow. Do you mean the TV show where like Ichabod Crane is smoking hot and like a time traveler? That was a thing.
Yeah. I thought them How to Train Your Dragons movies and TV shows too.
Didn't like the movies. They weren't bad. I just didn't connect with them on any level.
I did like the first one. The second one did not really hit home for me because it definitely felt like more by the books than the first one. It was just like, I wonder who will die in this one. I wonder. He's just saying like, son, I'm so proud of you. You're going to be the chief of the village.
Oh, Dad, I sure hope you don't die. Oh, Dad, where'd you go?
I'm burning. I'm burning. Ah!
And now Dad's dead. Good night, Mom.
And the TV show is just basically just sort of like a mid-full sort of thing.
Again, you know what it is? Except DreamWorks cash grab, where it's like, we made a successful movie. We should probably give it a TV show deal. Not everything you work on needs a TV show. Look, I like Peabody and Sherman. I don't think we needed a TV show of that.
The show's not that good.
Why did Turbo get a TV show? Because Turbo was just so good. Home got a TV show. Oh, because Home was just so good. Boss Baby got a TV show. Because Boss Baby was just so good.
Well, Boss Baby was so good, but I didn't need a TV show.
Didn't Trolls get a TV show?
Yeah.
Again, like, I feel like DreamWorks just...
Trolls, the Croods, too.
Oh, the Croods, right. Oh, Croods. The best thing DreamWorks does, in my opinion, is TV shows, but not on their movies.
Yeah.
Voltron is awesome. I think they should try more of that stuff. Try doing other properties. DreamWorks. I'd like to see a Transformers done by them. Transformers animated series would be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
Personally, another Beast Wars. Because I got Transformers Prime and it's fantastic. I highly recommend it. But we could stand to maybe use more shows. Like, I want to see a reboot of Mighty Max. I want another reboot of Ben 10 because this one sucks.
Yeah,
I want us to go back to when Ben 10 was actually pretty fun.
Yeah, and this is not fun. I was just showing Nero last night just what it looks like right now with Hellcats.
I love how you showed that to me, and I said, I was so confused by how it happened because it's like there's a guy called Vil, and there's a guy called Gex, and then they fuse together and they become Vilgex. And I turned to you and I said, is this a complete reboot? Am I not supposed to think of the original series when I watch this? And you're like, oh, total reboot. None of that stuff is canon. And I was just like, this is way worse than the Overlord with the Magic Watch when you stop and look at it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I didn't even think Spirit was that good. I don't even think it was bad. I just remember seeing it. I'm telling you, for the longest time, nerd, I thought it was called Spirit Stallion of the Cinnamon.
Yeah, I thought that too.
And then it's like, no, it's the Cimarron. And I'm like, what is that?
The Cimarron.
I don't put that on pancakes. That's a lie. You made that up. It's not a real thing.
I'm hungry for pancakes now.
They are making She-Ra, Rocky, and I hope it's good. I like She-Ra. I like He-Man, but He-Man doesn't look cool, like, visually. He-Man, like, he's supposed to be like a barbarian warrior, but I'd love to see a redesign of He-Man. I would love to see... I don't know why. I'm so stuck up about this. I really want to redesign Skeletor. Because it's weird that Skeletor is like a guy in a Speedo.
Right.
When Skeletor should be magic, he should be all about his thought versus He-Man's brawn.
Right.
And they don't do that. I'd like a reboot of Thundercats, which we're kind of getting, unfortunately.
Yeah, everyone's just hating on.
Oh, because like I want the DreamWorks guys to do Thundercats because I'd love to see that.
That would be cool. Cool. Fear of the Dark, like that animated French horror movie. You know, those like short little bits. I would definitely like to look over it someday. Like I'm not really much into horror movies.
To the nerd, Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow is fine. It does fall into the Tim Burtonisms, as you would expect.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp's there, Christopher Lee's there. I'm pretty sure Helena Bonham Carter's there as a witch.
Yeah.
And the brilliant casting that I still cannot get over how this was ever approved. Christopher Walken as the Headless Horseman, which is remarkable.
Ah!
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
But I will give credit to Ray Park, who did the body double for the Headless portions. He doesn't get enough credit as a stuntman.
Nice.
Are you guys watching Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and thoughts on TMNT? Okay. Love the 1980s show. It's fun because of how quirky and goofy it is. It's like watching Batman the Brave and the Bold or Batman 66. It's just quirky, goofy comedy fun, and I can't fault it for that.
Yeah.
It was something made with little children in mind to just entertain them, and that's it. I think you should always push for story, but I think just being entertaining still gets points. The 2003 show, not bad. A bit too up its own butt, though. It took itself way too seriously for a show with the title Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, turtles being ninjas is stupid.
It's stupid and silly.
They would be so clumsy and not remotely agile. Their shells are massive. It would be impossible. But that's the thing. I think Ninja Turtles, you need to get that. You need to hit middle ground. TMNT 2012, favorite animated series to date. I love the first live-action Ninja Turtles movie. I love the second live-action Ninja Turtles movie. Yes, including the Vanilla Ice song, Go Ninjas, Go Ninjas, Go. It is a phenomenal song, and I think people should appreciate it more because it is the fun quirkiness that we expect from the Ninja Turtles. The third Ninja Turtles, where they traveled through time, would have been better if they included actual stuff from the Ninja Turtles instead of random things.
Sorry about the left side of our room. We need to clean up.
It's just like blankets and stuff and pillows.
And that bowl right there, and the cups, and all that stuff.
What, did someone comment on like how dirty?
Yeah, right there.
Can't quite focus.
You think that looks like a frat party happened.
Hey man, listen, bro. If you can't deal, you know, it's like, bro.
This is the ToonGrin friend. ToonGrin boys.
ToonGrin.
Yeah.
Represent. T. Something. I don't know. Yeah. Well, again, this was spur of the moment.
We're either a frat or a cult.
We can't be a cult. We don't have an audience big enough for a cult.
Hey, you gotta think big, Nero. We're just the start of the cult.
Yeah. Fruit punch.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. TMNT, still on there. I never saw the Michael Bay first live-action one. I saw Out of the Shadows, and I love it to bits. I would actually like to review it because I thought it was fantastic. I finally got to... I had been waiting to see Bebop and Rocksteady live-action for years, and I got to see that. DreamWorks is making a new Mr. Magoo and a Where's Waldo series. Damn, we were talking about...
Yeah, we can still make a Where's Waldo. This is a Where's Waldo series. We want to make a movie.
We were pitching a Where's... No joke, we were working on a Where's Waldo's like pitch idea. We just discussed it one day and we're like, a Where's Waldo movie sounds like it could be very cool.
Yeah.
DreamWorks should reboot The Road to El Dorado as an animated series. Is it really necessary? I mean, the movie, they found El Dorado. What else? What else do you want to do? Like,
we gotta find El Dorado again.
Yeah, what do you want to do? Rehash it? You could do something fresh and new, I suppose, but I mean, you could maybe have them leave El Dorado and find other mythical cities like Atlantis.
Yeah, it would be weird to call it the whole series Road to El Dorado if they're leaving.
Yeah, but you use the... Well, it's like Atlantis Lost Empire. Atlantis Lost Empire was supposed to be a tie-in to Gargoyles.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. Can't quite... Yeah, Frat Party, okay. DreamWorks only makes shows based on existing properties of something they own in their DreamWorks Classics library. Voltron and Rocky and Bullwinkle being some. Yeah, but like, there's no reason why they couldn't purchase other properties, or we're not uncertain. What other properties do they have? What do we know about that they actually own? Because that's something to consider. Is what do they? Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I'm looking up Agony the Game. I've not heard of that.
Is that the one where like the baby's crushed by a rock?
I'm gonna guess it is because it's got a weird vagina face.
I was gonna say, is that like a devil with a vagina head and huge tits?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a trailer for this. There's like a baby you crush with a rock.
Why?
I don't know. It looks like that game. It reminds me of that game Hatred. It's there for shock value.
Yeah, it looks like a shock value sort of game. Hatred looks like an even shittier game than this.
I always just imagine I'm going after like neo-Nazis or Klansmen, and it justifies the game.
Yeah.
Look, you're fighting like douchebags. Now it's better. Have you got okay thoughts on every Pokemon anime show and movie too?
I don't remember every single.
Clint, man, come on.
We can't do every single Pokemon movie. I haven't seen every single one either.
Once you pass 300 people, you have a cult. You have over 800 subs. You are a cult.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's about time.
Yep. Better get the Kool-Aid, everybody.
Everyone, get your tracksuits and matching sneakers. Yeah. Also, how is your backlog going on uploading it to the new channel? Slow.
Yeah, basically everything is up right now. Everything. I still need to do a little bit of the WHYBOY Spotlight stuff. I didn't want to post them all at the same time because that would have been really excessive.
Mm-hmm.
But that's basically in the next few months that'll be all up because it's basically 3 times a week and all that. But basically everything is up, all things considered. Except for the mild few like Cartoon Corner Classics, NERO Reviews Classics that need to be reposted because YouTube's the best after all.
DreamWorks owns Harvey Comics characters like Casper and others. They're making a show based on Harvey Comics called Harvey Street Kids. A new Casper wouldn't necessarily be bad. The real detriment is Casper doesn't really have meat on it. But I mean, with enough imaginative people behind a property, you can easily make it work.
They just had to add something to Casper to basically give him that meat.
He's the ghost of Richie Rich.
There you go.
Super Mario Bros. Super Show, I liked it. Captain Lou was great.
I didn't really watch much of the Super Show. I definitely had one of the VHSs for it. It was fun for what I watched of it.
Favorite PBS? Didn't we answer that already?
Yeah, we did answer that. Oh, yeah, it's gone.
Okay.
Counting Uncle's just throwing it out there.
It exists.
Yeah, it does. I used that for one of Crafty's videos and basically made that a running gag.
Oh man, if you guys haven't check out Dr. Crafty on YouTube. We are editors on his show. He does okay. So it's one of those drawing property shows where it's like you watch an artist draw.
Yeah, drawing speed art show.
It's a drawing speed art show, but he adds characters, narration, and a little bit of story on episodes. It's actually quite fascinating to watch. It's something that I haven't really seen on YouTube before. So I really think you guys should head on over there to Dr. Crafty, subscribe to him. The guy is an amazing talent. And if you can, kick a little bit back to his Patreon. He mentions that if we can build up his Patreon more, we also get promotions. And that ain't not bad. I mean, honestly, I would love to be able to turn this into a living for you guys, to be able to make quality properties for you.
There's Dr. Crafty's channel link right there if you want to go see his work. Like some of our latest episodes, like if you wanted to see our work ourselves. We just did episode 35. Let me double check. Yeah,
why don't you say on our channel which ones we worked on?
Yeah, we worked on 35. We worked on 30 to 27. And I'm the one that basically did like his update special for that one.
Okay.
So we did quite a few. We're working on the next few episodes now.
We need our own cult HQ. We can hang out at We Need a Name.
Actually, speaking of that, we're actually working on making up a Discord. That could be our cult HQ. Oh,
don't call it the fucking cult HQ.
The cult HQ.
Stop that.
ToonGrin cult. ToonGrin cult. ToonGrin cult.
You know what that reminded me of?
What?
Do you remember because you never saw it, but do you remember the trailers where the woman and all the kids start chanting, "Kill them all, kill them all," and then it just shows Pennywise, he's with the kids, he's like, "Kill them all, kill them." It reminded me of that. I just remembered, since Universal Comcast owns DreamWorks, I kid you not, they're actually making a Fast and the Furious animated series. Get The Rock in there and I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
Because I love Dwayne Johnson. I'll watch anything you put that bastard in.
Yeah, we'll definitely let you guys know about the Discord. It could be our cult HQ sometime.
Can we please not call it that? The last thing we need to do is develop a toxic fan base.
Okay, that's fair.
We don't need to be like those creepos at Channel Awesome who started attacking random commenters.
That's fair. Yeah, if you do that, you're kind of an asshole.
Much like Aku said to himself when he was giving himself therapy, this is a safe place.
Yeah. You like to see ScoobyDoo SpongeBob crossover.
It's not the weirdest crossover pitch for Scooby-Doo. I mean...
Like, he crossed over with anybody, really.
He crossed over with Supernatural. You know, in hindsight, I guess it makes sense because. No, I guess it makes sense because they're also mystery solvers for the supernatural.
No, it was the Grand Wizard of the Cult HQ.
No one, because the Grand Wizard is KKK.
No. We don't want to be that sort of cult. We want to be a cool cult.
Although I hate the fact that the KKK ruined the phrase Grand Wizard because that sounds like an awesome title. Have you met any of the CC producers in person? I know Taylor met Linkara. I never have, and quite frankly, after the escapades, I'd rather not. I mean, I still want to meet Lewis. I actually did talk to him for a small spell. Nothing was confirmed, but he was talking to me and hiring me as a artist for T-shirt designs for the guy.
Yeah, we're going to try to work with him on other things as well, other little projects we're thinking on the side about. But we're going to try to meet Lewis this year. I actually met Phaelus and Pierce Lupa there.
Does he talk like he does in his videos, or is he more energetic?
No, he's a lot more quiet, actually.
Really? It's the reverse. Wow.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a lot more quiet. Like, the things you see in the video, that's his energetic self.
Ooh, the Toon Cave. Ooh, the Fortress of Tunitude.
Ooh.
Because screw Batman, and I like Superman more. I did. I told you guys this. Yes.
Yeah.
Drew Much also acquired the rights to Felix the Cat. It's a cat with a magic bag. It's not that it's stupid, but... Oh, Jesus.
The wonderful, wonderful cat. That's all in the song.
If he's so wonderful, how come we haven't seen anything from him in a while?
Because his movie was awful.
That's not true. It was just bad.
It wasn't awful. It was bad. There you go.
Toonsville is cool. That's a cool name, too.
I think it's like the name of a video game, though.
Shit. Can't use it. Copyrighted.
Well,
I did want to ask, guys, would you guys be down if we did Let's Plays on the channel? We were always concerned Toon Watch.
Oh, that's good.
That's good. Guys, legitimate question. I have been wanting to break into Let's Plays. Completely, honest, full disclosure on this. I really want to grow to be the same level as Markiplier and Jacksepticeye because I want to be able to take that fan base and build something good with it. I want to be able to do charity stuff and help people. I'd like to be able to move out of my parents' house before I go crazy and have a Lizzie Borden incident. Would you guys watch Let's Plays if it was the two of us playing games together? Or even if it was just me playing a game or just him playing a game? Would you guys be interested in content like that? Build a toxic fan base. It will happen no matter what. Sorry. What would be the weirdest Scooby crossover? Would it have to be a cartoon that's still on the air, or would it have to be something... Could it be something that's canceled?
Yeah, let's just say it could be something that's canceled. Let's just say anything you can possibly think of.
ScoobyDoo and Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, that would be weird. Yeah, I would enjoy doing the Let's Plays again. I would enjoy trying to do Let's Plays as well. Like, I would like to do the ScoobyDoo games, Mickey Mouse games, all those sort of stuff as well.
I think the thing is, when I was doing Let's Plays, I had so much less stress.
Yeah.
I was nowhere near as tense as I was, and actually talking with you guys has really been helping me this evening.
Yeah.
The tension is still there, but it's not
it's not as hard right now.
It's not as bad. Yeah, my muscles are so stiff right here. I've been trying to rotate my neck a little bit.
Yeah.
I know you're connected with some former CA producers because Lotus Prince is on Manic Expression, and Channel Zero was Jill Barup and surprisingly Guru.
Yeah, Lotus Prince I haven't really talked to, or neither of Jill. I have talked to Guru Larry a few times. We were going to try to do work for him.
You're so funny.
Yeah, but that sort of thing sort of fell through after a while.
Yeah, we're not as connected as you. Shock of all shocks, guys. We're not really popular.
Yeah. We could be more connected to Guru Larry though. He was actually really friendly to us when we were working for him.
That's true.
Yeah.
I know a guy who's making a Scooby-Doo Friday the 13th fan animated film. He's actually got a trailer up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Didn't they make a movie like that? Camp Scare?
Yeah, it was basically Camp Scare, yeah.
Okay. Did he have a hockey mask?
No, I just didn't want to rip it off that bad. It was basically the Woodsman. He did it with a big fucking axe. Oh, wham.
Was it like on fire?
No.
Oh.
The first scene he was in was actually all on fire and all that, but he wasn't on fire.
Was his axe on fire?
No.
Oh.
He did swing his axe at a guy that almost cleaved his head off.
Hey, yeah, I want Nero to make a Let's Play channel. I can give you a whole list of games to do. Oh, nerd, dude, dog, I got games out the wazoo. Are you kidding me? I discovered Steam, and I was like, oh, look at all this. Oh, my God. The only thing that sucks is when games are on consoles now, and only on consoles. Because, like, I want to play Dad of War. My heart melts for Papa Kratos.
Yeah, that would be cool. Oh, Guru already mentioned me in the Pizza Party podcast. Like, with Rebel Taxi and that.
I don't know. So you're saying names I'm supposed to know, and I don't. Is he the guy with the? Is he the character with the white head and the hat?
Yeah.
Okay.
The yellow circles and stuff. Like, he's one of the big animation ones.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Toon Gaming, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Let's Plays are good, and start with Lego The Incredibles game coming out this week too. Oh shit.
That would be interesting.
I don't mind Let's Plays, but just not hour-long ones. The only reason why the new one I'm doing, Detroit, is hours long is because that was a team effort I did with Orion Blind. Make sure to check him out as well. It was just an experiment. I don't mind hour-long Let's Plays, personally.
Yeah, I pretty much like them as well because they're basically sort of like podcasts for me.
Yeah, because, well, when I watch a Let's Play, I'm not just watching a Let's Play. I usually have it playing on a secondary monitor while I'm doing work.
Yeah.
Because personally, I don't think anybody sits and just watches somebody play a game and that's it for like an hour. I think a lot of people play it in the backgrounds of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always fair.
It's from Brazil and it has the actual Brazilian dub cast to play the characters in this film. That's cool. Doesn't matter, just make it happen.
Yeah, just quickly though, Ryan, do you know what Larry mentioned about me on that podcast? Because I'm not really sure which episode of the podcast he mentioned me on or anything. But I know I put money down for ToonGrin to support the podcast in a few times. Like, I'm sure you've seen our names somewhere on there. But I'm not sure when Guru Larry mentioned us.
Yes, God of War. I'm going to be doing a game playthrough of that game soon.
Not just nerd.
Dude, I'm not going to spoil anything for you. That game moved me to tears. It was so heartfelt.
And you talk about it all the time. It's definitely like one of the things that we really love to talk about.
I'm such a sucker for a boy and his dad stories. It's just, he just loves his little boy so much.
Yeah, it's so sweet. Yeah, Clint, we're definitely going to do less watches of movies. Like, you don't have to make a poll or anything. Well, it definitely makes more sense if we actually just sort of like came up with a list ourselves and basically maybe did it like maybe a list of 2 movies, and then people will watch along with us.
If you guys do find obscure films, though, it might not be bad to like message us or drop it on the Facebook.
Yeah, because we love those obscure movies. We can definitely do them more easily on watching stuff and such. Like, we got a whole bunch that we want to just basically like put those out there as well.
Larry mentioned that he's commented on some of your videos. Oh my gosh. Let me see if he acknowledges us as people. Pan and the others would jokingly make fun of how many comment sections there were.
I remember when Larry commented on my videos in the past. He gave me one of my first requests for like this really awful Family Guy ripoff from the UK called Full English.
Nero, have you seen Logan? I cry at that movie. No, and I have a very mixed emotional bag with the X-Men. I think they kind of suck. And my reasoning why is I think there are too many, and a lot of them seem to be superpower, codename. It's not enough of a tight-knit group for me to get connected with in the books. And in terms of the movies, I think they were one of the leading problems with the idea of too serious for comic books. Because to this day, I really wanted to see Hugh Jackman in the orange and brown costume that Logan wears. And I know in one of the deleted scenes you get to see like the headpiece of the Wolverine costume, but he doesn't wear it. So I never watched Logan because by the time they got around to it, dude, I was sick of the X-Men movies when they got to the 3rd film. And then I watched, oh god, First Class, which I argue First Class is probably the best X-Men movie in terms of it is the closest to being the X-Men. Because it's a small, tight-knit team of teenagers with superpowers getting together and doing stuff. And then they did the stupid time travel one, which I think made the timeline even more confusing. That's why Deadpool makes fun of it. And then they did the one with Apocalypse, where he looks like Ivan Ooze. And that was terrible in my opinion. I thought it was dreadfully boring, except for the Quicksilver scene, which he then ripped off from the previous film anyways. I didn't like any of Logan's movies. I saw his other 2, and I didn't like them. I think the X-Men are cool because there is something to say about them that's important. I think their message, where the idea is that they can be representative of a minority, there's a poignancy to that. There's an important story in that kind of telling. But the thing is, most of the X-Men are normal-looking people. Most of them are pretty. No one's really ugly in the X-Men. Like, dude, Nightcrawler is hot.
Yeah, it's
Like,
blue.
like he's a blue-skinned dude with elf ears. Like, oh, I'm sorry, blue-furred dude with elf ears. You put him, dude. Take him to an anime con. Guys and girls are gonna talk about how hot Kurt is.
Yeah.
Like, and even then, Kurt isn't even hung up about his appearance. That's not even where his drama comes from. His drama comes from the fact that he looks demonic, but he's a devout Catholic. So it doesn't even have anything to do with the fact that it's like, oh, people are afraid of me. It's that I look demonic and I'm a devout Catholic.
Right.
But even then, he's always usually cheerful and bright-eyed and optimistic. The X-Men are great, but there's too many of them. That's the problem with like superhero teams, is when they get too big. Because then you lose people in the team. This is why the Teen Titans was brilliant when they did the cartoon, because it was 5 people. It was Beast Boy, Cyborg, Robin, Starfire, and Raven. So the leader, the little brother, the big brother, the goth, and the chipper alien who's totally ignorant about how things work on this planet.
Yeah.
Perfect team dynamic. And then you had the spin-off teams. So you had Masimenos, so you had Mexican representation. Well, I think they were Mexican. They might have been Puerto Rican. But you had representation of a different culture. You had Aqualad representing Atlantis. You had Bumblebee. She was black. And the best part, she wasn't like a stereotype. She just happened to be black. Fantastic.
And Speedy.
And Speedy.
He's basically Robin.
Yeah, well, because Robin's like Batman, so that's basically Green Arrow. And Green Arrow and Batman sometimes have a dick measuring contest about who they like with characters. And then they brought in like the Kid Flash, and he was phenomenal. I loved him on that show. And that always annoyed me, where it's like that freaking last shot in Teen Titans, where it's like that big group shot.
Yeah.
And Raven makes that joke. She goes, "Tucker like so gonna freak when he sees us," because there's like 100 kids there, and you're like, think of all the spin-offs you could have a season. Here's a team of 5 new characters you've never had. Here's a team of 5 new characters. Think of all the cool stories you can tell. Here's a crappy Terra episode. Canceled.
Yeah.
What is this?
And then that comes the thing with like the season 6 thing.
When will Mask Nero and Harold finally duel? What, like Yu-Gi-Oh? I don't even think WHYBOY knows how to play. I mean, I don't even think Harold knows how to play Yu-Gi-Oh.
I know how to duel, bitch. I can duel you in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Man, don't make me bitch slap you.
You can't bitch slap the devil, bitch.
Ah, shit!
That's what you get for bitch slapping the devil.
In the 11th hour, I will repent. I'll ask God for forgiveness and get a clean slate. Do you like to see Who Framed Roger Rabbit with modern-day cartoon characters and Judge Doom return?
Nah.
Here's the thing. Part of the charm of Roger Rabbit is the slight undertone about dealing with prejudice. Because the Toons were looked down upon as like second-class citizens to an extent.
Right.
And let's be honest, modern cartoons don't have the pedigree of the legends. People still to this day remember Bugs Bunny, Mickey Mouse.
Like right now, no one's gonna remember stuff like Gumball, SpongeBob. Well, SpongeBob might be becoming like one of the newer ones that, like, maybe down the line people will think
Maybe.
about.
But you know the thing is, SpongeBob has so much infamousy behind it. Whereas, like, people don't talk really about bad Looney Tunes too much. Like, I mean, people don't like Lunatics Unleashed. I adored it, because it was something different and crazy. I don't think it would be necessary, and I wouldn't want Judge Doom to come back. He had a cool villain death. He was a cool villain in of itself. You have to do something different.
Yeah.
You can't rehash. And I think a sequel now... Oh, God, how many years after the fact? We don't have Bob Hoskins, bless his soul, is not with us. So... What, you going to recast Eddie Valiant? No.
Yeah, Bob Hoskins is Eddie Valiant.
And I'm concerned that they would CGI all the tunes instead of hand-drawn, and that would suck.
So hard.
So, yeah, oh my god. Like, it reminds me of, like, how like, dude, you can't watch those live-action Smurf movies without taking a trip down the Uncanny Valley. Because they're trying to look like cartoon characters in the real world, and it just looks creepy.
Yeah.
It looks super duper creepy. What's the maximum number? What's the maximum number that a team of superheroes can have before it becomes overwhelming? Okay, people argue the 7-member Justice League, which was the original 7: Supes, Bats, Wonder, Flash, Green Lantern, Manhunter, and Aquaman. Personally, I think you should boot off Aquaman, not because he's bad. Aquaman's phenomenal. Dude's got a kingdom to run down. He doesn't have time to go out and save the world. He has to take care of his people first.
Right.
So he's a busy dude. He's got 75% of the world to protect. I think they should kick off the Green Lantern because if we're doing the space cop angle where he has to like patrol the sector, he can't be on Earth because then he's not patrolling he's literally not doing his job then.
Yeah.
Personally, if we went back to Alan Scott, when Alan Scott was the Green Lantern, he was the very first Green Lantern they ever created. He was a dude who had a magic lantern, and the Earth chose him to be its guarded champion. So he got this green flame called the Starheart, and it made him Earth's champion. And all he does is he's a dude that protects the Earth. Either bring him back, or drop the Green Lantern and switch him out for Swamp Thing. Because Swamp Thing could do everything Green Lantern does. He can make constructs, and Swamp Thing is everywhere. Because he's wherever plant life is.
Right.
So the only place he couldn't go is like the salt flats, where no life exists. But that's it.
Yeah.
But keep Superman. Even if I don't want him there, they're going to keep Batman, so it doesn't matter what I think. Even though I love Batman. He's one of my favorite superheroes. I just think you can't make Batman a dick anymore. If he's always going to be a paranoid dick who's like, I got to have a plan to kill them all, and the off chance everybody turns on me, I don't want him on the team. He's a scumbag then. I want Batman to be like how he is in Brave and the Bold, where he's an endearing member. There's a little fear of the superpowers because it's logical. Because if somebody did get control of Superman, it would be horrifying. It'd be Man of Steel. And you saw how scary that was. But like a 6-man team might not be bad. I'm also a sucker for the fact that I think Zatanna should be a founding member of the Justice League. Because I think we need more magic representation on the Justice League.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I think the Avengers just suck. I'm not even going to apologize. I love Captain America. Yeah. I love Captain America. As a matter of fact, I like the secondary Avengers team because the secondary team was Spider-Man, Wolverine, War Machine, The Thing, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage. That was an awesome freaking team.
Okay, we're going to wrap up this session because we've been going on for a little bit. We want to get to some running tonight. So how about we just do like 3 more questions?
Yeah, 3 questions, guys. Let's go. First come, first serve.
Okay, let's go. Any plans for WHYBOY and Masked NERO crossover review? And then a full-on Harold versus Masked NERO.
I don't think so. The thing is with the masked concept was that's when I was trying to find a gimmick to really make me stand out in the audience, and it didn't really take off. Some people really did like it, though. But also, it's a matter of production. It's too hot here to film on camera.
Like, if you just see just from the camera, it really does just capture both sides of the wall right here, and it's basically that small.
Yeah, really, what you're seeing right now, this is my working space. I have a queen bed over here. I have a bookshelf over there. You can't even see it because the mattress that's used as a sound dampener is blocking my closet. I have another shelf installed in the closet. I have a chest of drawers in the closet because I couldn't keep them out. And then I got a secondary desk here, and then I have this giant work office desk here. I don't have the room to record on screen anymore, and being on camera in this room is unbelievably hot. It's one of the reasons why I stick solely to audio now, is that it's easier to record, it's easier to edit, and I feel like you're not really missing anything. You're still getting me, you're still getting 100% the personality. If anything, maybe I'll make my avatar have the mask, and maybe when I do con appearances, I'll dress up in the mask. But I think I'm going to get an all-new mask, because I want something that shows my eyes.
Yeah.
So it's impossible to see out of that damn thing now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Jordan, you can talk about your synopsis of the ScoobyDoo fan project. Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, promote your stuff, dude. The thing is, we want to promote everybody. YouTube is a community. We're all there for a reason. We're all there. We want to put our stuff out. We want to be noticed.
Yeah.
Considering Universal owns DreamWorks and Illumination, do you think that they could be seen as the same thing like Disney Pixar? No.
No.
Because a lot about DreamWorks, their movies don't age well. Watch the first Shrek movie. It's not as good as it was when it came out. It's pretty dated.
Definitely Illumination. Definitely
better.
Dated. They're not
they
well written, though.
Illumination suffers from generic.
Yeah.
Can you do a cartoon corner review on Toy Story and do it as an April Fool's joke?
Not really feeling that now.
What would be the April Fool's joke? It sucks. Play credits. People. What do you expect from the guy who thinks Boo Brothers isn't the magnum opus of Scooby-Doo films?
Oh my god, that is. No, yeah, unfortunately, Toy Story will not be getting an April Fool's streaming. I'm not even sure how I'll really do April Fool's jokes in the future unless it's like part of like a group effort sort of thing. There's not really much of a point to it unless you do that sort of thing.
I did watch on Odin Makes. Highly recommend, guys. YouTube Odin Makes. Awesome YouTuber. His whole thing is he makes cosplay stuff on the cheap.
Yeah.
For his April Fool's Day joke episode, he did an episode of how you make a grilled cheese sandwich.
If you've ever made a good grilled cheese sandwich, that's like one of my specialties, make grilled cheese.
Oh, yes, because heating bread in a pan and then putting cheese on it is just so damn complicated.
It is. It is. Hey, I've tried grilled cheese at a few different places. A lot of them aren't that good.
Well, that means they clearly suck at the bare minimum.
Yeah, they do.
Scooby-Doo, The Backstage Rage is an unofficial reboot of the franchise, and it also is an adaptation of a classic episode from the Where Are You era of the same. We're going for a more darker and grim version of the franchise.
Yeah.
With Gravity Falls getting a complete series release from Shout, what are the Disney animated shows you hope get released? Oh my god, dude, you can't even get me started on this one.
Basically.
Darkwing Duck, Chippendale, Pepper Ann, Recess, Star Versus.
Tailspin?
I can take or leave Tailspin, to be honest.
I like Tailspin. You say Tailspin now.
Tailspin. It's such a weird show because it's like the Jungle Book, but it's like some weird Elseworld story where it's like, in this story, Baloo wasn't a bear. He was a bear that piloted a plane.
Yeah, Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas and Ferb, Milo Murphy's Law is one of my favorite cartoons on the air right now. Oh my god.
Yeah, basically, Disney needs to take their heads out of their asses and actually release these things on DVD.
Dude, Warner Brothers needs to get their heads out of their collective butts and get their stuff out.
Yeah.
Like, people like Megas XLR. I'm not crazy. I'm not the only person who watched that show.
Yeah.
Why is like that? Why it doesn't have a DVD release?
Yeah.
Are you guys watching Rise of the Ninja Turtles? And
we
we already answered that.
Yes, sir. That one we already answered. But
do you like to see Scooby-Doo made indifferent?
Yeah. Okay.
We're gonna wrap up here, though.
We're gonna answer one more question.
One more question. 1:30. We're closing down because we gotta work on scripts, guys. You can't, guys. We can't make the reviews for you if you won't let us. It's like Pete. Son, I can't miss you if you don't leave. Father of the Year.
But yeah, we'll be doing these sort of Q&A specials like more often, especially after our Let's Plays and all that. But we'll be more like actually promoting them more often this one because it's basically more of a test. Like we'll finish up the visuals on that.
People showed up in this test.
Most of we got was like 9. So that was pretty good.
9's not bad. That's almost double digits.
Yeah.
The fact that the audience has been this interactive, though, has proven to be... Nice. Oh, thoughts. Disney's buying YouTube this year.
Is that true?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it.
Let's see. Disney by YouTube. Disney by YouTube Network Maker for $500 million. That's in 2014, though, that one. Disney buys YouTube Network Maker. Okay, they bought Maker Studios, but that's it. Nothing about buying.
Well, yeah, Angry Joe made a joke about it on his show where he said, now I'm part of the Disney family. So he said we have to be like family friendly. And I think he replaced the Superman shirt with like the mouse head.
Yeah.
Favorite emoji joke? None. How has visiting time been going for you guys so far? It's been amazing. I wish Taylor could move down here. In the worst way. I really wish he could move down here and live with me. I wish we could, like the dream, we live together in a house and we have like an in-house studio or a studio in the backyard and we could just keep producing content and we could build up a nest egg and make a living and then eventually retire.
Yeah. That is the dream. We still hope to live together, but I live in Canada. You live in Arizona. I still have a life in Canada with my special someone and all that sort of stuff. So it's definitely not as easy as just sort of like I'm moving to the U.S. or he's moving to Canada.
No, in a perfect world, it would be that easy. But the world's not perfect, so we just need to work hard to try and make it as perfect as possible.
Yeah, but visiting time so far has been really good. We've been having a lot of fun. We're really working hard and getting a lot of stuff done.
Can you do crossover reviews with Jamie the Comic? Who's Jamie the Comic? Is that...
I never heard James the Comic.
You guys have to remember, it's not like all of us reviewers know each other. It's not like we're all going to the same like meeting and having breakfast together.
Maybe nothing possibly immediately there.
I would love to do something with Game Grunts.
Oh. Yeah, never heard of this guy. Review this shit. Okay. So he's basically a small-time reviewer like us.
He's not that small. He's got over 1K.
Well, we're basically building up to that as well, so he's around our level right now.
Oh, I really like that movie.
Which one?
Eight-Legged Freaks. It's a really goofy-ass B movie about giant spiders.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Let's see, Rhapsody Street Kids, Dragon Ball Evolution, Digimon the Movie, Bonds Beyond Time.
Honestly, the best thing as fans, what you guys can do to help us, if you want us to do crossovers, contact those people and tell them about us and how you'd like to see a crossover. Because if we just reach out and say, like, our fans said we should cross over with you, it kind of looks kind of beggy.
Yeah.
When like people in our position do it.
Yeah, because it's basically sort of like a business transaction sort of thing. So it has to be equally beneficial to both of us.
Yeah. Well, calling it right then for you guys. Bye and good luck with your projects.
Good night, Deacon.
Thanks, buddy. We're going to call it too because we're going to start working on some scripts.
Well, thank you, everyone, for showing up. Thank you for all the great questions. And we'll tell you again. Yeah, you're blocking me.
You're right there. You're fine. You're in the shot.
All right. Okay. Yeah, good night to everybody. It's like super late for everybody, so we're all going to go to bed and have a good night's sleep.
No, not us. We're going to be writing scripts, and then we'll eventually get a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
So, guys, we appreciate you all for stopping by. You've heard it all before, but here it is again. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Share us on social media. And as always, be sure to tune in
to ToonGrin. Yeah.
Yeah, where's my mouse? Oh, where's my mouse over?
Get your mouse.
Why is everything so tangled? It's like that Disney movie, Frozen.
Yeah. Good night.
Motherfuckers.
Wow.